You got to give me what's the behind the scenes at a Skechers. What is something that we need to know about Skechers that only the employees, only the people behind the scenes would understand?
Um, okay, so one of the biggest things is any retail store, really.
Okay.
Um, if you say, "Yo, can you check the back real quick for that pair of shoes?" and they come back with nothing, they didn't check the back. They just went back there and just stood there. That's just how it works. That's that's like everyone did that. That's just
Yeah.
how it worked. Like that's honestly just how it worked.
Mm. So that's what you just did. You're just like, yo, can I get you got size 6 Skechers shoes? Yeah, yeah, I'll check the back real quick. Let me
Yeah,
check the back.
yeah, yeah.
You
And
just
then
hang out
you
there.
come back and you say, "Oh, sorry, everything that we have,
It's
is
out.
on the floor. Yeah, it's on the
You
floor. Yeah."
piece of shit. So you're one of those, all right? You're one.
Oh no! Everyone did it. It's not like some people like even taught me to do that. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. But
How have you been?
yo, what up? I'm fantastic. I have been awake for the last 30 hours.
Okay?
But
How the
yeah,
fuck are you
I'm
doing
here.
that? How the fuck are you
Um,
doing this? All
I've
right.
got, I've got coffee. I've got,
Sure.
everything. Look, you can see me. I can't see you. How's
Oh,
this
you
working?
you have to pull up the stream. That's it. I gave you in those
Oh,
bullet points. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing.
okay. I
But
got you, dude. Okay, I got you.
But that's
I got
wild
you.
to me because it's like literally because I know you took a 3 hour nap. You did your little
Yeah,
thing, which is
yeah.
fair because the body's not supposed to be staying up that long. How are you
Right.
feeling right now? Tell me what
I
the sensations.
I am that's the sound that I would describe my mind right now. It's just a lot of fart,
It's
is what it
just
would be. It's
oh
just
my
I'm not
gosh.
functioning anymore. But hey, I'm here. I'm here to give you my time. I just drank
All
another
right.
glass of coffee, another mug, and I'm definitely here to answer your
I
questions to
mean,
have a good time.
good luck, Retrora. Good luck, my
I
man. I could feel it. I could feel the how tired you are, but it's all right.
No, I'm
I
here. I'm here for
all
you,
right.
dog. I'm here for
All
you to
right.
give you the energy. I got
We'll
all the
see.
energy in the world for this interview right now.
We'll run it then.
All right.
Usually I start off these shows by telling the streamer how we met. And
Mhm.
I actually met you way before I even started streaming. Are you familiar with who Mile High Cash is?
Yes, I do know who
S-
Malachi Cash
So
is.
Mile High Cash, he raided into you last year around this time, literally like February,
Really?
March. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I wasn't streaming at the time, and he went into yours, and I remember what you are now is not compared to what you were back then in terms of like
Oh
you've
yeah.
clearly you've developed, you've changed, you've worked on your production value, all of that. But like I remember you very briefly. I was like, "Who is this? Retrora." I was like, "All right, this is a clean name. This and that. He's doing his thing." And life happens. COVID stuff. We go our separate
Oh
ways.
yeah.
We're all doing that jazz.
Yeah.
And you shoot a DM. You shoot
Oh
me a
yeah.
DM. And I won't go with everyone, but the line that got it, the line that it said was, "Whose dick do I gotta suck?" to get, whose dick do I gotta suck to do the show? And I was like, we don't
uh,
gotta go there. We could just fucking hang out. I don't know why you gotta talk about sucking dicks, man. It's
hey,
fine,
dude, that's just
you know. I'm not
I'm just
trying to
letting
get
you know I'm
canceled, my
down.
man. If I agree to that, that shit's I'm about to get destroyed in 4 years or
It
so.
was,
But
but it's consensual, dude. I was all down with it. It's all good. We're just one
s-
man to another, one phallus and one mouth. We're good to go. Like it's not an issue.
so it sounds like TwitchCon 2022 then. All right, sounds
All
good.
right. Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah. Anyway.
out of pocket, Red.
Yeah.
But we get it. We got it on the books, and it just so happens you and Senny were literally like neck and neck in terms of like, oh, we'll plan this all around. And I was like, oh, neat. They're in the same stream team. They know each
Oh
other
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
well.
And
Um,
he's a homie
so
for sure.
so it made perfect sense to just bring this all together.
Mhm.
That being said, Rhett, I'm gonna hit you with the first question. All right, I'm gonna
Hit
hit
me
you with
with
the
it. I'm
first.
ready.
So let's start from the very top of your Twitch journey. All right,
All right.
before you were even streaming, how long did you have your Twitch account?
I've had my Twitch account since I think 2017, but I
Mhm.
didn't use it at all. I
Hmm.
used it, I think, to watch. I think I just made it. I could be wrong. I think I just
Hmm.
made it to have an account to like go on different or to go on different streams in, but I don't think I typed in any chat.
Hmm.
But that was I was under the alias of RetroStar TV. That was the old name that I had. It was
Yeah.
pretty cringe.
How did
It's a
you
pretty
how did that name come to be? How did you start off with retro whatever TV?
I
What Star
I've
TV?
been I've been retro on the internet for like a long time. Like just retro like on Steam, on different things. Like that's just how it's always been. But like I don't know. I like the name Retro Star. I don't know why. And that was
Mm.
like my Overwatch name for a little while. And then I was like, you know what? I'll branch out to other places. And I like made a YouTube channel under the name, and I made like a Twitch account under the name. And I didn't plan on doing anything with it,
Mm.
but eventually it did come to fruition. And then obviously Retro Star was kind of a common name, so that wasn't available. So I had to do the cringe thing where you just kind of add on the little TV at the end. And so
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I was I didn't realize it was cringe at the time, but
Yeah,
now
no,
I'm
no,
like,
it's fair.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta learn. We gotta learn. We're learning as we're going. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Mhm.
What brought you to the platform in the first place?
Oh, that's a long story. I'll condense it. Essentially, I've been watching. If you really want to know, I've been watching like old vods of like Ice Poseidon and people who like did IRLs
Mm.
and like Anna Milanakis and like not
Mhm.
just like the CX crew, but like just people who did IRLs in general. And I really liked the energy that was like people walking around and talking to people, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to do that since the beginning. That was like what I wanted my channel to be.
Mhm.
And when I actually started taking like I started things started becoming more solid, and I was getting a footing on where I was, COVID hit, so I wasn't able to do that when
Ah.
I got into it.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. So then, all right, you made your account in 2017. When
Mhm.
did you when did you start streaming?
I started streaming in March of 2019, and my first game that I played was Gary's Mod. That was
Yeah.
the first game that I ever played because I was on this server, and I'd been playing on the server for Gary's Mod for like a long time. It was a TTT server,
Mhm.
and I was like, one day I was like, I'll just stream this because why not? I'll give it a try. And that was like when I met like some of the first people. One person still in the community, his name's Killer Zorio. He actually like was just in my chat. He's been around
Mm.
for like 2 years now, and
Mhm.
that's where I met one of my first community members. Was from that server.
Oh, nice. What can you tell us about that very first stream? How was it?
It was very much like I got into it thinking like I'll give it a try for a week and I'll try it. So I went live. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like I'll act like an idiot. So I just like started like saying really dumb stuff
Mhm.
like it's just I was trying to like play up like a YouTube personality, and I essentially realized that's not how you're supposed to stream. Like
Mhm.
that's not really like how it works. But people came in because they were interested,
Mhm.
and like that's kind of just where I got my footing. It was
Mhm.
very I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I would
Yeah.
give it up after like a couple days because like I thought no one would come in because I watched all of those videos. You know, like all the videos that are on YouTube
Of
about
course.
streaming. They're all like, oh yeah, don't expect to get viewers in your first day. Like
Mhm.
it's really hard to become a streamer, all this. And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I'll just give it a try. I was on my laptop. I had a built-in webcam. Um, I had like nothing. It was just my laptop that I had,
Mhm.
and I streamed off of there, and it was terrible.
You see the thing is right. You got this like Devin Nash feel to you. You got the black shirt. You got this like
Oh
professional
God.
businessman kind of
Oh,
deal. That's
I'm not professional, dog. You can ask my entire chat. Like it's funny because on the outside, like I feel like I give that vibe, but
Mhm.
my chat knows that I'm definitely like not like that.
Would you say the individual that your community sees on screen is exactly the exact same person off screen?
uh So yes, I would say that my energy is very focused on the stream though. So I'm not always as high energy, but like my personality is always the same. I
Hmm.
wouldn't say that I change when I'm off screen. And the person that can attest to that, he's actually here right now, but he's downstairs, I think. He's
Hmm.
my brother came to visit, and he can attest for that. Like I am the exact same person off stream. Like I'm
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
annoying bastard that I always am. Sorry, am I allowed to curse? Is that like,
Yeah,
allowed?
you could cuss. You could just
Okay,
clearly
cool,
no
cool, cool.
TOS, but you could cuss. You can fucking cuss. I don't
Yeah,
care.
cool, 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 cool.
Um, so tell me this, and like you said, you started off streaming. There was no expectations. There was no bar. You just did it.
No.
You weren't thinking. When did it become more of a serious thing in your life? When did you take that step? Because I think a lot of streamers have to make an intentional choice of, all right, well, I'm going to give this an actual go. I'm going to try. I'm going to be more consistent. Tell me that moment when you decided to take your channel a little bit more seriously.
Um, Essentially when I consider my like career of streaming just to
Yeah,
have started
yeah.
was in the beginning of 2020. 2019 was a really rough year for me. It was
Hmm.
like I would say arguably worse than 2020 was. I know a lot of people like 2020 was their worst year, but for me,
Yeah.
2019 was awful.
Hmm.
And streaming was like that little beacon of hope that I still had. I was like, I was in college. I'd like transferred to a new school. That I'm in college. I'm
Hmm.
going into my third year in fall.
Oh, nice.
Um, so like I was transferred to a new school. I was transferring to a new school because some stuff happened at my old university with some people. Um,
Mm.
that happened. Um, I got a new job at like Whataburger and I hated it. I wasn't a big fan of fast food. Nothing against the company itself. It was just a
Yeah.
fast food job that I wasn't down with.
Okay.
Um, and like I kind of lost all of my friends and like I didn't have anything to latch onto. And so streaming was like the one thing that I had. So at the
Mm.
end of 2019, I was like, this is the one thing that's like making me happy and I got to take it more serious. And I started doing that in 2020. And that's like kind of when that's kind of when I got involved in the Twitch community.
Yeah.
Like it's like when I found like Ms. Kiff, XQC, and like all these other big streamers, and then I kind of got a really good grasp on what Twitch really was,
Mm.
and then like that's kind of where I got into everything. Like I got into like BTTV, FFZ, all of this other stuff. Like as a matter of fact, I was telling my chat, my phone's not charged, but I have this note from like I think like November or December. This phone's dead, but it's on this phone
Yeah.
where someone in my chat had told me what BTTV and FFZ was, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll check that out." So I put it in my phone as a note, and I found that note again, and I was like,
Mm.
"Wow, like my life would be so different now if that I never wrote that down."
Yeah. Tell me about you mentioned the line. You said I started to understand Twitch more. You started getting a better
Mhm.
grasp, if you may. What grasp are you talking about? What was it about Twitch that you needed
Well,
to understand?
a lot of people like, at least for me, when I was starting on Twitch, I was very much like, streaming is your own lane. You go straight forward, like you're just your own person. You're going and you're going, and there's no one on the outside. And I didn't really understand that like streaming is it's like a communal thing. It's not
Huh.
just you, it's
Yeah.
not just you in your own lane. It's you got to meet people. You got to
Hmm.
understand how other people's streams work. You got to understand how your stream works in comparison to those. Not
Yeah.
that you should compare yourself, but like just what you're offering and what place it fits in the entire Twitch community.
Hmm.
Like because then you could find yourself doing the same thing that everyone else is doing.
Hmm.
Um, and you got to really find your place with everyone else instead of just staying in your own bubble.
Definitely. If I may ask, where have you found your place?
Um, I would consider myself um I don't know. I don't really know what my place is on Twitch. I just
Yeah.
know that like I've gotten to know a lot of different communities and that like
Hmm.
I'm really happy with the people that I've met and that like throughout the entire year of 2020
Hmm.
I've met so many really cool people because I started a podcast back in like March and
Hmm.
it was a really small podcast. It just like featured different creators and stuff like that. But getting to know like other people who were also doing the same thing as me because at the time I was um very alone. I didn't have any friends that knew what streaming was like. Like no people around me or no one around me understood what it was like to be a streamer. Because most of my friends didn't know what that meant. And I'm not
Hmm.
saying that like it's like this convoluted thing, but they just didn't grasp the concept of going live and talking to people and just doing whatever. So meeting other streamers on the platform and like finding my place amongst those people was really cool because I now got to see like, oh yeah, how do you feel when your viewership goes down? Like I
Yeah.
could relate to people telling me how that felt with them, but I
Definitely.
couldn't tell that to someone else who,
Mhm.
had never streamed.
Yeah. And you know what? To even add on to that, it's cool because like there are hundreds of categories here on Twitch, but every streamer knows how that feeling is, and that's a
Oh yeah.
commonality. That's a bond that I think every streamer, no matter what the size, no matter what the category, no matter what the culture, nationality that person is, everyone has these intrinsic things about being a streamer, being a Twitch streamer, that they have that commonality, that common ground. To
Mhm.
have a conversation about. That's really cool that you're aware of that and can acknowledge that. Uh, Rhett, I have here. There's a bit here on this show. There's a couple of bits we're going to be doing. One of them
Okay.
is I have a couple tweets of yours that I would love to
Oh,
talk about. All right, we're
can
gonna
I
we're.
like? Can we end this interview now? That'd be.
Well, hey, you didn't have any. I didn't choose to. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. I wanted to expand your brain a little bit. All right.
Okay.
I wanted to expand your brain. I
Sure.
wanted to understand some of your takes. Let me switch over the scenes here real quick. And the first one is more of a take you had, all right? You said that Soulja Boy is the new Dr. Disrespect of Twitch. I want you to explain to me this take. Why did you say this? Why? And of course we get
All
a
right,
little bit of face right here. A
I
little
got
bit.
you, dude. I got you. I
Go
got you.
ahead,
I
shoot
got
me
you.
with it. I want to hear
So,
your take.
so I would say that Soldier Boy is the, at least at the time when he was doing his he Soldier Boy is a hyper personality, and Doctor
Yes.
Disrespect is very much a hyper personality as well. He's very like embellished. He's out there. He does what he wants to do, and he's the doc. He's got his
He's a
style.
doc.
He's got everything. I
True.
think Soldier Boy carries that same swagger with him in a very different way, but he still has that, like, he's got that confidence. He's got that, yo, I'm this guy,
Yeah.
and if you don't like that, fuck you. That's kind of how Doc is, and that's what I really like. It's in a very different fashion, but I
Hmm.
definitely think they've got the same energy in being a hyper personality that people could get behind. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I meant by that. I still kind of stick by that, honestly. I think Soldier Boy has really good potential for a streamer.
Definitely, definitely, and he's naturally entertaining. Like
Yeah, for sure.
take away the music career and still him as a person, extremely
Mhm.
funny, extremely entertaining.
100%.
Just the tag on this, you mentioned also in the comments here, still waiting on my Soldier Pods and Soldier Gaming console. Though, did you actually purchase any Soldier Boy? I
You
can't even
know,
say products. Is it memorabilia? What is it?
okay, I actually never purchased the Soldier console, but I actually did purchase the Soldier pods. I forgot how much it was, but
Yeah.
I think they were more than $100. And I never got them. I ordered them because
Oh
I
my
forgot how old I was.
gosh.
I think I was like 17 or 18 at the time, and I just had like extra spending money, and I had a feeling in the back of my mind that I wouldn't get them, but I was like, let me just like see what kind of like qualities they're gonna be, because this is
Did
at the time when like AirPods were really big, like when they were
yeah.
just coming out. So like I was like, why not? I'll invest in the Soldier Pod brand,
Did you
and
not? So
I
what
never got
happens
them.
with the cash? You just
I
lost the cash. You just took
I
the
just it's
L.
gone. It's in the void, dude. I don't have it
Unreal.
anymore.
Unreal, Red. Unreal. You know what? We might have to send a letter to Soldier himself. All right. We might have to
I
get.
think I would not be the only one that sent letters to Soldier Boy, so I don't know how well that's gonna work.
True. True. Fair play. Fair play. The next one here. Well, let's take it a little bit more serious. All right. I want to know your
Okay.
takes on some of this stuff. You mentioned here recently, January 29th, you go, gatekeeping is cringe. You kept it
Ooh.
short and sweet. I want to know your
Mm.
take on gatekeeping within
I
Twitch.
I love talk. I could talk about this for hours.
Mhm.
Gatekeeping on Twitch is very cringe. I mentioned that I didn't know BTTV, FFZ, and all that stuff moving into 2020, but
Mhm.
like the thing is when I started learning it and when I started getting into the culture of what Twitch was, people like would gatekeep me out. They would be like, "Oh, you don't know this meta, you don't know this streamer, like that's cringe. You don't understand what no Uber in Kansas means," like stuff like that. And it's like why? Like
Mhm.
people would be like, "Ah, this guy doesn't know. It's like let's mess with him." You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. Like some communities are nestled that way. Some communities are together. They're really tight knit. But I feel like you do more damage gatekeeping, and it makes Twitch less of what it should be.
Hmm.
Because what I think Twitch is, at least when I joined, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, is when you come onto Twitch, you're looking for a community. You're looking for somewhere to be, somewhere that you like to be and like to hang out, and you feel
Yeah.
comfortable being there, and
Okay.
you feel like you can relate to the people around you. And when you go into a community already kind of feeling dejected from the outside world because you're looking for a community on the internet,
Mhm.
um, going into an environment like that and being gate kept out of it will only make you feel worse. And that's why I really try not to be gatekeepy with my community and stuff like that, because
Mhm.
I feel like if you want a place to be and you want a place to hang out, as long as you're not being an asshole and like being like like I'll be fine with you joining my community. I won't be,
Yeah.
and I feel like most people should be that way. And I feel like your community is very much like that too. I feel like you're
Mm.
very
I'm
open,
well,
open.
I'm an open normie. Like I'm not even gonna act like I like I the big difference though, Red, is like I'm also not a normie that's not willing to learn. So I'm open to
Exactly. Yeah.
learning. Like I'm open to hearing it. Like I want to know the emotes. I want to know the culture and the lore. And I think that's the thing with like, you know, let's play let me play devil's advocate for a moment, Red.
Okay.
All right. How about, because the counter argument to that is, that these normies, these people coming in are starting to change what made Twitch special for them. And even with the process of trying to teach them, they're not accepting that. They're not, they want to stick to their own lane there.
I would say that you're in Twitch for the wrong reasons. If you think that people typing their emotes wrong
Mm,
is if people typing emotes wrong, not typing them correctly, or not typing them at all is pissing you off,
mhm,
you're probably on the site for the wrong reasons. You're probably not there because you want to be friends with other people, and that might be a hot take. I might get shit from my own community for saying that, but like
mm,
really, you should be there because either A, you want a community you want to be around, you want to watch a streamer that you think you're entertained by. It
mhm,
shouldn't be about, what frog emotes you have in the chat. I
mhm,
think that should be your last concern, at least in my opinion, because that's like, I don't know. Like, I think Twitch is way more than that,
mhm.
regardless of what emotes you have in your channel, what culture you abide by, any of that, I
Yeah,
feel like it's very like it's gate kept for no reason, in my
yeah,
opinion. Like there's no reason you should gatekeep. And I understand that there's some people who don't want to learn, but I feel like most of that spite in not wanting to learn is it comes from gatekeeping, and it
mhm,
all loops back around. Like
mhm,
you someone comes onto Twitch, you say, "Hey, learn BTTV FFZ," and then, or you don't even say that. You say, "Oh, you're a normie. I don't want you, shoo." And then they go into another community, and they're like, someone else says, "Hey, learn the culture. Let me learn FFZ BTTV," and they're like, "No, I remember how this other person treated me because I didn't know that,"
yeah,
And then they go away from it. It's like it all circles around. It's
mhm.
just like this unneeded circle of just cringe. It's just
Yeah,
cringe. Like,
yeah.
it's just annoying.
I feel that. I feel that. I'll give you one more take you had. You had one more take here on Twitter, and we'll move on to the next bit. It
Okay.
says here, this is a pretty hot one. It goes, when it comes to Twitch, you're either a leash for
Oh, I love
talking to other creators or an ego Andy for not talking to other creators. There's no winning. Just do whatever you want and have fun. I'm not going to ask you so much as whether you believe in this or not, because clearly you posted it. But where did
right.
this take come from? Where did you? What inspired you to say this?
So I've been throughout all of 2020, I've been called both both of those things.
Yeah.
And the beginning of 2020, because I was so excited to meet other creators who were on the platform, because I wanted to, like, it was really exciting for me
Mm,
to meet different creators. Like the first creator that I met that I first became friends with, there was two people. One was Ganji, and the other one was, you've interviewed him, his name's Empire. We became
mm,
friends in early 2020. And when I first met both of them, I was like, whoa, like I can be friends with streamers, and it's like it feels good because like they
mm.
get it.
Yeah.
And so that's where it stemmed from. And so we ended up doing a podcast together. We ended up doing other things together.
Awesome.
And other people came on the stream. Other people cycled in, cycled out.
Hmm.
And people would say, "Oh, dude, you're doing that to Leech."
Hmm.
Listen, at the end of the day, you're doing a podcast, you're bringing people on, you want to grow. I'm sure you
Hmm.
understand that. That's you
Hmm.
bring certain people on, you want to grow, you want to grow, you also want to interview them. It's not like a I'm only using you for this or I'm only using
Hmm.
you for that. Like, there's a genuine interest there. Obviously, that's how it works. But then you don't invite certain people on. And then when you don't invite certain people on, oh, suddenly you're an ego Andy. It's just
Hmm.
either way, it's gonna flip
Yeah.
flop. So it's like, don't bring me on, you're an ego Andy. You do
Yeah.
bring me on, you do bring certain people on, then you're a leech. It's like you don't win. There's no winning.
No.
And then later on in the year, some stuff happened. I backed away from a lot of people that I talked to,
Hmm.
because like I just needed to I needed my own space. And then sorry, voice crack. I've been awake for 30 hours.
It's all right. It's all right. I understand.
And then I would back away, and people would say, "Oh, he's in his own bubble because he thinks he's better than other people." And it's like, I'm no one. Like there's no like it's either you interact with people and people think you're interacting because you want to gain something from them, or you don't interact with people and they think that you think that they're better than them.
Hmm.
Or they think that you think you're better than them.
It's a
It
catch
doesn't,
22.
you know.
You can't. Yeah. Where did you find peace in this? Where did you find peace in your decision?
I after like once I realized that my community was self-sustaining and it was fine on its own and that we could do our own thing and that it was, whatever. Um, it's I was chilling. Like I was like, you know what, it's fine. And you know what? I don't even have a problem admitting that, dude, yeah, I'm a leech. That's fine. Like okay. Let me talk about this real quick, if you don't mind.
The floor.
I
That's
would
what the show's
say,
about, bud.
let me just say this real quick. The second that you stop letting that word affect you is the second that no one has power over you anymore. I'm telling you, if anyone is a streamer in the audience and you as well, that word, if you just say, yeah, I am, people don't know what to do with themselves then they're like, wait, like, like it's you take away the fucking power from it,
Mm-hmm.
like regardless of whether you are or you're not, like
Mm-hmm.
it's just people will call you it either way,
Yeah.
so you just go with it,
Mm-hmm.
like you just say, yeah, sure, why not, like, and then they determine, and then people will start realizing or start thinking for themselves and start saying, is he or is he not?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. That's for you to determine. But like one person should not determine you the way you look at yourself with that.
Well, the thing is, Twitch is such a big place, man. Like that audience, if they don't fuck with you, they'll turn it off. If they do fuck with you, that's like hate watching. So you still get
Absolutely.
you get what you need. And it's at the end of the day, you got to be able to look at yourself and be happy or content or okay with what you're doing. And it sounds like you made your decision, and you're like, you know what, this is who I am. I'm gonna not allow the world around me dictate. I know who fucks with me, and I know who doesn't. And you just move on.
Absolutely.
I feel that. I feel
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. Because not every relationship you have sticks. Not every
No.
interaction you have sticks. That's just how it is. And it's like you won't know unless you try. And and I think
Exactly.
that's something you've got to really learn. Like I've talked extensively with my friend Coaster about this. Do you know who Coaster Music is, or Coaster? He's made the music of Twitch with Sorty Way,
Mm.
2019, 2020, 20. Yeah.
I've
those
definitely
two.
seen him on your podcast. I've seen him
For
all there.
sure,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've talked these subjects always come up on there, and we talk about
Mm.
stuff like this extensively because I feel like most creators are kind of scared to bring up topics like this because it's like they don't want to be seen a certain way or whatever. But it's like it's whatever. You're a
Mhm.
streamer. Just
And see,
you
that's
think about it.
exactly. That's where you got to take away the curtain from the stage, dude. That's why streamers get put on weird pedestals, and
Mhm.
then once that's done, I mean, the fall from grace is even harder. When you guys when streamers do something bad, so then because they're like, well, you're elevated, you're this, so what are you doing? And so again, the judgment comes a little bit heavier. Um, that being said, Rhett, I have
Mhm.
another bit here. All right, I have another bit on this
Okay.
show, and it is I pull up old clips from your channel, and I have 4. All right, I got 4
All right.
clips, and I just want you to explain what's going on. Again, I wasn't here for any of these clips, so I just want to understand what's going on.
Okay.
So let's start off with this first one. All right, very
Mhm.
easy. It's a simple bit. It's a simple bit. It has 7,000 views, and it
Oh,
says
okay.
disease pomade. Don't worry, man. Hey, I take care of the guests for the most part. I take care of the guests for the most part. So let's watch this one real quick. It's just about 28 seconds long. Let's give a listen and take a look at what's going on here.
One if I eat it. One if I take a bite.
Please don't eat the pumpkin, it has a disease, dog. Look at the marks on that.
What do you mean it is a disease? It is not. Okay.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. Give us that cam girl vision. There it is. So let me let's stop you right there. What in the world is happening in this clip? All right.
Okay, so it's actually funny because like there's actually more of a backstory to this. Like I bought another pumpkin before this one, and I did a stream, and
Yeah.
I messed up the carving because I'd done the stream like a little, like maybe an hour before, and I
Mhm.
messed it up. And I went and bought another pumpkin, and I got this one. I didn't see the marks on there,
Yeah.
but like I didn't. I was like, whatever. I'll just cut it. I'll do it. I brought it back. Started
Mhm.
the stream. All the boys were there. I was like, let's do it. I
Mhm.
start carving it, and then I was like, I opened it, and it looked really good inside. Like it, if you look in the clip, it's like
Yeah.
ripe and succulent.
Yeah.
It looks like you could take a bite out of it. And I was like, can you eat this? And I like had a piece,
Mhm.
and someone in chat donated, and they were like, oh, don't do that. It has disease on it, as you see in the clip. I
Yeah.
turned it around, and I was like, oh, and like I was like, oh, I didn't even see that. To be
Mhm.
fair, there were worse pumpkins that were out there that had
True.
much worse things on them, but I thought there was nothing on that. Um, and so I saw that, and I was like, wow. And then I had the reaction that I had,
Yeah.
and put the pumpkin back down. Still took a bite, and
You still
yeah,
took a bite. You
still
felt
took a bite.
okay? You still good?
Yeah,
No
totally.
repercussion. Wow.
It tasted like cantaloupe. It was really good.
Ooh, I've never actually done that. I've never taken a bite of raw. I know. I mean, the smell of it and the guts inside the pumpkin always get me. I don't mind it.
Mhm.
I actually fuck with it, but it's I've never taken a raw bite, so it's good to know. I feel like this where I had it paused is gonna give me a 3-day ban. I think you're you're
Great
spreading.
ass shot.
Giving me straight A. I think. Listen. Don't be misbehaving here. All right. So this next one here is a very wholesome moment. It says here 8-year-old makes a bop, 5,000 views. Let's give it a listen here. All right. Let's give it a listen.
Oh,
Okay.
hello, Retro.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing on this evening?
Good.
So I hear you want to beatbox for us. Is this true?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You go ahead. I'm down to listen.
Here we go. That's all I want.
That's all you got, dude?
Yeah.
Hey man, I appreciate you doing that. That's really brave what you did. I gotta say, I really approve. I approve, dude. I approve. Sounded really
Thank
good.
you.
Proud of you. You keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna get better. You're gonna do fantastic.
So right here, give me the context. How did you find? First of all, how did an 8-year-old find you on stream? All right. How did this?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I think he just came into my stream and he's like, "Hey, can I beatbox for you?" And I was
Yeah.
like, out of content for that day. I was like, "Sure." So he's like, he joined the Discord. He joined a call. He joined one of the VCs, and I was like, "All right, cool. Hey, you go ahead."
Mhm.
And he did that. He did the what's in the clip, and then Dexerto. I don't know if you know that article site. They picked it up and wrote a whole article about like apparently I had like some game show that I was running or some talent show, and like they were like, this kid could go on Raj or on Austin show now, and they were like, it was so funny because they wrote this entire article about like how this like little kid and like this whole interaction, it was like all fabricated. It had nothing to do with what was going on. I was just live, and he comes in the chat and goes, "Hey, can I beatbox for you?" And I was like, "Go ahead, sure." Like that's cool.
I'm being told he was banned a day later. What is that?
He was banned a day later.
Yeah.
No, he still comes around my
Oh,
stream.
he's still good. He's still good.
No, he wasn't banned.
This kid. All right. Okay.
No, yeah. I think what may have happened was I might have banned him for being underage on Twitch, and I didn't want him in my chat. But I probably unbanned him later on. That's probably what it was.
Fair play. Fair
yeah,
play. That was a very wholesome moment, though. I loved it. You know, especially it's risky taking, you know, someone random and putting them on live with you. You know, you never know what's going to be said. You never know what's going to be done. But and to hear that, and yeah, he actually had in the latter half of that beatboxing, it's pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah. So I'll give him the credit there. What was that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like back then, I had like way longer hair. I did an event. My hair's way shorter now, but I did an event in like last year where I ended up shaving my head for a charity goal, and that was why I was like bald in the other clip. My hair has been various lengths throughout my Twitch career.
If I may ask, what charity?
It was for I'm gonna get this right. The American Foundation for Suicide Awareness and Prevention, I believe, is the
really cool.
correct thing.
That's really cool, dude. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Stuff. I love the philanthropy that happens on Twitch. It happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think that's one of the best parts of this community here, this culture of how generous people are. Inversely, though, I do have another clip that we'll have to take a look into. It's a shorter one. It says LOL, and it has a 1K, 1.2K. It's very short, about maybe 4 seconds long. Let's give a look on what's going on here.
Dude, I'm gonna beat my kids if they do so.
What in the world? We had a 30-second wholesome moment, Rhett, and then in 4 seconds, my friend, you just I'm beating the shit out of my what's going on in this clip, huh?
I mean, look at the kid. He's like messing up the presents and throwing a fit. When I was a kid, you couldn't do that. I'm sure you probably were disciplined as a child too. You seem like a very well put together man. I'm sure in your childhood, like you were put in line. My parents, definitely put me in line. So, I'm not saying that my parents like beat me, but I definitely did get like, I definitely did get like disciplined. So like I was exaggerating a little bit in that clip. I'm not gonna beat my children,
Of course,
but like
of course.
I'll discipline them a little bit. Maybe I won't physically harm them. I don't even know if you're allowed to say that anymore in this day and age. Like you're allowed to. It's your child, but I'm not gonna. I won't stand by if my kid was having a tantrum like that. I wouldn't just be like, "Oh, calm down." I'd be like, "Yo, you better shape up."
Yeah, come correct, man. This is a full grown, and especially it looks like there's Christmas gifts on the floor, man. This is the worst way to speak. This is one of my nightmares whenever I become a parent. It's just Christmas Day, kids throwing a tantrum. I could not. There's something about crying babies on the plane that's one of my worst. Like it is the worst sound imaginable for me right now. It's too annoying. But I'll bail you out of this one. The last clip we have here is one I have no understanding of what happened here. I don't get this clip at all. And I watched it at least 3 times to understand it over and over. And I was like, there's no, like, I clearly had to be there / a part of this community for me to understand. So let's watch the clip. It's 30 seconds long. And I'll have you explain what happened and why is it so important.
Got right behind Jeff. Got right behind. You're fucking joking me, dude.
Oh. So, okay. Who's Jeff? Why? What were you trying to do? And what is the importance of this figurine?
Okay, Jeff, I have him literally right here. So first of all, Jeff is fine. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. I feel like that's the most important place to start with. First of all, is that Jeff is now fine.
Okay,
I've had him
fine.
restored. He is fine. He's great. He's
Whoa.
right here.
In
He's
full
been
glory.
my companion since the beginning of my streaming career. I've had him. There's a funny story about him, but do you want to hear the story, or
Of
do you want
course.
to?
Again, give me the lore.
So, I'll give you the lore. Basically, it was my freshman year of college. I was out thrifting with 2 of my friends. We go to this Goodwill. We're at the, we're chilling. We're looking around to see what kind of mementos we can find from our college town.
Yeah.
In this thrift shop, we get a couple flannels, a couple little posters, whatever. And we end up going to the, going to the line because we're gonna check out. And this guy in front of us is carrying what I now call Jeff. And I was like, "Yo," I budged my roommate or my friend, and I was like, "Yo, look at that! Like that is cool." And the dude was in front of me; he didn't hear us, and he goes and checks it out. He checks out the item, and I'm like, "Damn!" I asked the lady once he left. I was like, "How much was that?" And she said $6. I was like, "For that $6? Like that is a steal." So we're checking out. I put my clothes on the counter. I do all this stuff. I'm like a little bummed out that guy walked out because if we had been there like 5 minutes before, we could have gotten it. But as we're checking out, the guy walks back in, and like I can't make this up. He walks back in and he says, "My wife didn't let me get this. I have to return it." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Like it was like one of the best moments of my life. I was like, "Dude." And so he puts it back on the counter, gets his money back, and I was like, "So can I buy this?" To the lady. She's like, "Yeah." And so I bought it, and then I got it. And so he actually had like another piece to him. He had I bought this Coke bottle. I took the label off the Coke bottle and took a Chef Boyardee can. I took the label off that and put it on the Coke can, and he held it like that, but I don't know where that went. It's somewhere. I think I broke the bottle.
Wait, so he's drinking a Coke.
Yes. So yeah,
that is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
It's not meant for my cock or anything like that. I mean,
that is the first thing I was like, what is this position? It's too precarious of a position to be in.
Yeah, that's what most people think, but he had a little glass.
Okay.
But
I mean, even honestly, Rhett, look at the lips. It doesn't help the case. It's just too.
He does have very like voluptuous, like dick sucking lips. I can't lie to you.
Look at that. Oh my god! Oh my god, Rhett,
That angle,
are
you
you
know, like-
kidding me? Are you kidding? If that is the Rhett, if that's the fucking screen still, that's gonna be on Twitch. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. All right. If that's the screen, if that's gonna be the fucking screen in the next 30 minutes, oh man, that shit got me. That's too much. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
There's something about college because I feel that like that was very similar to my college experience where we're always looking for mementos. We're always looking for little trinkets that we could bring along and
Oh,
just
yeah,
be
yeah.
like house totems or something like something that
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
So that's a really awesome backstory. I like how the lady didn't try to upcharge you either. She's like, "Oh yeah, you could buy
yeah.
it, but for like crazy. How much do you have on you? It's insane that you're gonna pay me $20."
Well, I mean, she was also a college student, so like I'm sure
Ah.
she understands. There's a college town. Um,
Mhm.
But the story of how it happened was
Yeah.
I was streaming. I was being an idiot, and I was like, oh, like, what if I like sat back here on because this is a pool table right here. This is a
Mhm, mhm.
right here.
Nice.
And so I was like, what if I like streamed over here? I was being an idiot. Like I was out of content. It was one of those out of content days that I had back
Mhm,
then. And I
mhm.
was like just walking around. I mean, I still have them, but like I was I was walking around back here and I was on the table and I just like sat on the table and I was like, what if I just like sat behind here, like behind Jeff? And you can hear me say that in the clip
Mhm.
And I like as I was getting up to put my hand on this little like shoulder area, I
Yeah.
pushed him off and he fell off and I was like, damn. And all of my chat said that he was dead until I think it was around October or November. I had him restored. I found someone around my area who could get him restored, and I sent him in to like a what is the
Restoration.
it was like a ceramic shop, I think, or something, and
Oh.
they were able to like repair because I still had the hand, I had all the pieces, and they were like able to fix him, and he
You
was
took
safe.
that to a ceramic shop to get all. It looks good. I wouldn't because I saw the broken pieces on the floor. So what you're seeing right now, that looks crisp. That's clean.
Well, I'm sure they put some other stuff on him. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly how, they did it, but it was like this local place
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's like down the street. They were like, yeah, we can probably fix that for you, and they
That's
have. I've
sick.
just been really careful with how I grab them now because I don't know if that's
Mhm.
gonna fall off or not.
Yeah, true. Nice. Well, the thing is, Red. All right, that's all the embarrassing stuff. All right, that's the humanize the guest. You're good to go. Well, from
Yeah.
there, it's smooth sailing from here. So I'm gonna ask you some introspective questions about your Twitch time, your career, and from there we'll move on to your life stories. All right. So
Okay.
the first one being, what have you learned about yourself through streaming?
I've definitely learned. It's a good question. I've learned a lot through streaming. I was before I was on Twitch, I was in the entertainment industry
Mhm.
with acting. I was an actor, and I came onto here, and this is a very different world, but it's very much like how much effort you put in is how much you get back.
Hmm.
And it's very much that. And I also like that's one thing I've learned. Another thing I've learned is that like you got to be really careful with who you keep around you in your really close inner circle. That's one thing. You got to be really diligent. I had something I was going to say. I forgot what it was. You've got to be very, very. I'm blanking. I
This
forgot what
man's
I was
playing
gonna say.
mental Tetris right now. Like I'm watching
Yeah.
you. It's coming in. No, I agree. Those are actually the first two are very original answers. I haven't heard those before, especially the company that you keep. And I'm sure that everyone in their mind knows about what happened with Four Connor and all that jazz, and so it's tough to who knows what's going on. That's a hot take there, but it's
Right.
definitely something that you need to be aware of, as well as you don't. I think there's that whole conversation about leashes and this and that. Who's riding you? We talked about that earlier.
Right.
And so definitely keeping the company that's righteous, that you vibe with, that you agree with, that you're willing to ride or die with is pretty vital within this journey, because you can't do this alone. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to do this alone. I don't want to say
Yeah.
can't. There's no guarantees. But to do this walk alone on Twitch is one that's very lonely, even though you're going live to many people, So
Yeah.
it's definitely that's great that you've captured that about yourself. How would
Yeah,
you describe your? Oh, yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, what you said that you can't do it alone is it very much hits it on the head. You've got to be very, very selective as to what group you have. But I feel like once you get that, once you're solid in it, you're good to go.
Exactly. Rhett, how would you describe your streaming style?
My streaming style is very open. I would say it's very free form it's very free form and community driven. It's very much about like who's there, who I can talk to at that time in the chat. Like I feel like every streamer says this, but I love talking to my chat. Like that is why I stream. I love doing it. Like I actually had this, like I talked about this before. Like if I was given a lump sum of money and like never had to worry about it again, and I was like told like you can do whatever you want with your life, I would probably still be streaming because I like my community that much. Like I laugh like every day, and that was something I didn't have before Twitch, which is really nice. Like it's
so cool.
it's something that I always love.
I think that's when you really know you're in the right spot. Like if you're willing to do something for free, in an ideal world with no cash involved, that's a good place to be. And to still do it, that's a good place to be. That's a good mindset and headset to be. Let's talk. Speaking of your community, let's talk about them. All right.
Okay.
And let's act like they're not currently watching right now. But I had because this question is gonna take a little bit of toll on you. All right. If I asked your community, Rhett, if I asked your community who you are, and I had no idea, what do you think they would say to me? All right. Now you have to be in their mindset. You have to be in their mindset, Rhett. What do you think? You think they would say to me? All right. You're as them.
I would say they'd probably call me the R word. If
Gotcha.
I'm being honest with you. That would probably be what it is.
Yeah.
Along the lines of idiot, moron, like somewhere around there. Like that's just like that's kind of what I would describe. That's what I would think they would describe me as. Because
why do you think so?
That's how I have the most. I have the most fun being an idiot. That's why. Like I just like throwing my personality out there and just like letting it flow and not worrying about like whatever. And like just my chat will take that and bounce it back at me and like let me have that energy back that I give out. And it's really nice. It's like it's just back and forth. And so it's just like dumbass energy receiving dumbass energy, and it's just back and forth all the time, which is I think that's the best way to describe it.
That's interesting. I like that. Again, so far you've given me so many original answers. I've not heard these ones before, so I'm pretty impressed by that. Let's flip the question around. All right.
Okay.
How would you describe your community to me? Say I walked in, new kid on the block. Hey, Rhett, tell me about these people that are also in the chat. What would you say of them?
They're very
The longer you take with this, Rhett, the harder it's gonna sound. All right, the least I'm not gonna believe it.
They're a very wise and insightful group. I have to say, very, very wise. Very intellectual group. Probably the smartest that I've ever met. Honestly. But that is because they're a reflection of myself.
Wow.
And that's exactly why I say that.
There it is. I love that. Right? Way to go. That is the 10 out of 10 interviewee answer. That's hilarious. I like that. Way to bring it back. Oh, my goodness. Rhett, you've killed it. All right? You've killed the first section of the show. You're doing awesome.
Sick.
That being said, I usually take this moment to kind of give you a moment with everyone else here, as well as give myself a moment to take a piss. So I will be back in about 30 seconds.
Sure.
Maybe. The chat is yours. Go ahead. You can talk to him, but I'll be right back. All right. And we'll get started on the next segment of Life Stories.
Awesome. Yo. Hi, chat. You guys like Swador? You guys want to sip? I don't know what I'm supposed to. I'm not drinking piss. It's emergency. I mean, Lost gave it to me, so I actually don't know what it is, but he said it's emergency. What is that? A Peepo? Nope. What the heck? Anyway, hi chat. Hi, I'm Rhett. I'm legendary in SWTOR. I've been playing SWTOR for about 5 years now. I'm legendary. I have mastered every single class. I have almost collected all the datacrons in that game. What can I say? I'm doing. We're fantastic. I'm fantastic at that game. Not we're fantastic. I am a legendary. I don't know about all of you guys. You might be like, completed the Jedi story or whatever, dude. But I personally am legendary at SWTOR. I don't know. Subjective. As to whether or not you guys are, I don't really know. I just work here, dude. You could be legendary, you might not be. That's not my problem. But just letting you know, I'm legendary. If you didn't, if you ever need someone to carry you throughout any of your class stories, I got you. Let me know. DM me, especially if you're a girl. I'm single and desperate. I'm down bad. I'm down horrendous. I'm at my last straw. Please, if you play SWTOR, if you have pale skin, you have dark hair, really dark hair, please DM me. Mom's Online is back. I'm no longer. What up?
What is this? Was this a shot you were trying to take? What resume was this?
No, I was just saying that I am currently looking for a SWTOR partner.
All right, listen, that's Lover Host. All right, man, that's a different show. That's a different.
Played SWTOR?
What's that?
Have you ever played SWTOR?
No. What is that?
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have. Why? What are you?
Have you?
Yes, I have. I played.
Like how much? Like how much have you played? Like let's talk about that real quick.
I played. Okay. The phoniness of me. I played at my cousin's house. I didn't. You gotta realize I'm old school Asian, where it's like parents won't give you computers or video games. Like my first console I bought was by myself. Like outside of college, I bought an Xbox One. Like I'm out of it. Other than a Game Boy, I did play Pokemon a lot. So I did play that at my cousin's house. All right. So I'm not too familiar. I didn't play anything, too deep into it. So I'm not even getting into the lore of it all. But why do you ask?
I'm a huge Star Wars: The Old Republic fan.
Hey.
It's the MMORPG. You might have played if you played the MMORPG, or did you play like the Knights of the Old Republic?
Knights of the Republic. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit different. There's two different. Anyway, my chest shit for this, but yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue. Go.
I mean, here's the thing, Rhett. All right. I also grew up on Neopets, man. All right. So that's the kind of world.
Okay.
That's the world. All right. That I'm living in. But
yeah.
Rhett, we're going into the next segment of the evening, which is the life story. Now, I didn't get to tell you this in the DMs, but I like to tell it both here as well as with everyone that's watching this evening or listening in the future. If there's any topic or question that goes too far, Rhett, feel free to stop me. I'm not here to push you. I'm not here to have any gotcha questions. That's the last place I want to be. That's a shitty place to be.
Don't worry, dude. There's one thing about me. It's that I'll be honest with you if I need to be. Like, honestly, if you didn't even give me that disclosure, I would have been like, nah. I would have told you either way. But that's just,
Either or. It's out of not only respect to the guests, but to those that are watching too.
Of course. And I respect you for giving that disclaimer. I do appreciate that.
Of course. So, Rhett, let's start from the top, all right?
Sure.
Without even having to dox yourself, you can give a state, city, region, whatever it may be. Where were you born or raised?
Oh, I was born in Baytown, Texas, and I was raised in the southern part. I won't give that away. It was the southern part of Washington, like on the border of Oregon and Washington State.
I think I know exactly what you're saying, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm over Washington State myself, so that's why I can figure that out.
Yeah.
Nice. Any siblings, Rhett?
I do have two siblings. I have a younger sister and an older brother. He's here. I have an older brother who's 26.
Nice.
And my younger sister, I think she's 16.
You're one of the rare ones that have done the show that's the middle child. Usually it's a younger child. The youngest, I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Statistically so far, I think you're number 60 of my shows, and I've I've always seen someone say, I'm the youngest. And I'm like, it kind of makes sense because they're always the loudest / want the most attention, like myself being the youngest. But tell me the dynamic within your siblings. Tell me your relationship with your older and younger sister.
I
Older
love my
brother and
brother.
younger sister. Yeah.
I love my brother. My brother and I grew up together. He's like, I'm 21, so he's like 5 or 6 years above me.
Mhm.
But we grew up together, and we had like a lot of memories growing up. So like, and then like we now are really close still. Like through streaming, my brother has been there like since the beginning, and I love him for that. Like
That's
he's
awesome.
been one of my biggest supporters since the beginning.
Hmm.
And my sister, we also kind of grew up together, but she's a little bit younger. So like she's also a girl, so like we didn't bond as much as my brother and I did, but she grew up. We kind of all grew up together. But my sister was a little bit like lagged behind because we have a 6-year difference, and I was like going into high school and stuff like that, and like it was the age difference there and stuff like that. But I love both of them for sure. They're both great. What was the other thing you asked? You asked something else. I think you said
Oh,
siblings.
just those sort of dynamics there. Tell me this. Tell me the story of like, we don't really get the outlook of like, you have your relationship with your brother, and when it was announced that your sister was on the way, especially having a sister, what was your guys' reaction to that news?
I honestly don't remember, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my reaction was because I think I was still pretty young. I was like 6 or 7, I think. No. How old was I? I don't remember how old I was when this happened, but I just remember one day, like in my memory, she just appeared. That's just like the way I
She
remember
spawned in.
She spawned in.
We're all NPCs around your world, right? That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like.
For sure.
I love that. I love that you mentioned that your brother's been really supportive since day one.
Yeah.
Especially with your journey on Twitch. Tell me, in what ways has your brother been supportive? Because I feel like bringing up that you want to take content creation seriously, you want to be a streamer seriously, is always a tough conversation to have with the family. So tell me about your brother's supportiveness towards it.
My brother from the beginning, like I think him and I have always talked about like doing YouTube or like doing Twitch or like not Twitch because Twitch was like a very later thing for me to discover. But we always talked about doing content creation and how cool it was because we grew up like watching like like YouTubers. Like I mean it was more in like my brother's adolescence or like later on in his like a teenagehood, whatever the word is for that. But I'd always been fascinated by it because I was like 11 or 12 when like YouTube really started blowing up, like when PewDiePie kind of started being a thing and like Tobuscus and like Markiplier and like all these other people kind of like sprung up. I was really fascinated by that. And I was always like, yo, let's do it. And my brother was always like, yeah, that'd be a really cool idea. But he never really committed to it. And I didn't either at the time because I was really young and didn't understand how it worked. And so when I told him when I was like 19, he was very much he was very supportive. He was like, yeah, you should go for it. And he never judged or anything like that about how I acted or did anything because he knew I was just being myself throughout the entire time. And like he always says, like, I could even be I'm even worse when I'm not live. Like I'm way more annoying and like loud when I'm just like hanging out with him because he's my brother. I'm comfortable with him. I'm just like, But
that's cool though.
Yeah,
I love that.
He was like my first founder. He was like one of my first subscribers, my first like person to donate, like all of this stuff. Like I think he donated like $5 on my first stream, which was huge to me because it was like $5, dude. While streaming, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Even but
Definitely.
it was really, really like it made me feel like I was going in the right direction without it being totally alone.
Yeah, I love that. That's really cool. How about your sister? How did she take you being like, being a streamer and streaming on Twitch?
I don't live with my sister, so I live in a different area. She lives in Houston. I live in another part of Houston. I live with my dad because my parents are separated. And so I live with my dad. My brother lives elsewhere, and yeah. So my sister lives with my mom, and I live with my dad. And so that's kind of how that works. So I didn't see her as much in the transition because it was in my first year of college that I kind of got into it, and then like my second year when I transferred to schools, it like got fuzzy and then COVID hit, so I really didn't go and really visit as much, and so like it kind of got lost in translation. Like she eventually found out, but I don't think I was the one that told her that I was like doing any of this. So it was so I don't know what her reaction is, but she knows. I don't know what she thinks of it, but yeah.
All right. Tell me your relationship with your parents, with your mom and dad, Rhett.
My mom was, at least for when I was growing up, she was very stay at home because my dad was like, he just went out and worked. And like throughout my childhood, he went and worked a lot. I love both my parents to
Yeah.
death. I love them so much because my mom was very disciplinary, but that like, I look back at that a lot and I'm very grateful that it was that way because like
Mm.
I've grown up with like discipline, in a lot of different ways. Like especially when I like when I got to college, um, I feel like when most people get to college, if you've
Mhm.
been disciplined, if you've been like in a strict household,
Yeah.
you really get to see who is like it's very, very it's like crystal clear who has been like sheltered and given everything and like all this and all that, and then like who's been disciplined and had to like do stuff for themselves and stuff like that, and you can really tell in the way people carry themselves. And
100%. You're right.
that was it was a great feeling to like have and to know my self-control,
Mm.
especially when you're in your freshman year of college.
Mhm.
You get a lot of new experiences, you get a lot of them, and you can go off the deep end if you don't have self-control with them. So
Mhm.
that was definitely something that uh was uh
Aware
I was
of. That's
grateful for that. Yeah.
yeah. How about your dad?
My dad was he worked a lot. He definitely
Mhm.
worked a lot, but he provided financially for all of the family. For a good amount of time. Like
Yeah.
he worked. I think at certain points he worked two jobs.
Mhm.
But now he's working a very, very good job now, and yeah, he's always been like the provider for the family, and I'm very grateful for that because I don't think at any point in my life I've ever
Mhm.
really been like financially worried per
Mhm.
se. I would say like, or at least we've had the illusion that we're financially secure. And
Mhm.
I'm grateful to my parents that it's never been like slapped in my face that we're like, we're out of money or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if that was ever the case, they definitely, handled it very
Mhm.
well. If and I never knew as a kid, so it was very nice.
I'm gonna kind of lean into a little bit of a heavier topic here. Again,
Sure.
stop me if I may. I've talked about this with a handful of other streamers that have brought up that their parents had separated, and usually I want to ask about the streamer's experience with that. I'm not here to ask about the details of it all, but divorce and separation it's a commonality in the United States. Last time I checked the stats, it was like 50%. It was huge. Um, but I want to ask about your mindset with that all. When you were told that news, how did you take that, and kind of how did you process it during that time?
I remember being told, and I was that my parents were separating, and I was devastated. I was I never looked at my I mean, as growing up, like you look at your parents and you think like that's the example of love. So I didn't have like like I didn't have a perception of what it was or what it was not or what
Yeah,
this or that was. And I mean, I won't go too far into details as to
sure.
anything, but like it was it caught me off guard because I
Mhm.
thought at least that was the way it was supposed to be, like how everything was, and there was
Mhm.
nothing wrong with anything, but I guess I just didn't see anything that was happening, and so nothing bad was. That makes it sound like something bad
Yeah.
happened. Nothing bad
No,
happened. It's
I
just
didn't do that.
different, but like it was um I just didn't understand the dynamic between them. And when I found out, I was very like caught off guard because I was like, oh, we live in this great house. We live together. We're all together. We're happy. We're a big, bunch family. And
Mhm.
I was very devastated when I found out they would be separating because this was also in the time when I was moving away from Texas. I mean, I was moving away from Washington to Texas to where I am now,
Mhm.
and it was very weird because they said they wouldn't be living together anymore. And I was like, wait, mom and dad not in the same house anymore? What the hell? What the heck? So it was a very very odd experience.
Yeah.
Um, I was devastated for sure. And
Mhm.
I remember I don't remember who told me this. They're like, oh, you get two Christmases, and I was like, I don't want that. Like,
That's the least of my
yeah,
worries.
yeah,
Yeah. Why would you? Yeah. Why would that be the give? But I feel
yeah,
that I hear you at least. I'm not gonna act like I even understand at the slightest, but it's good to hear. Like I feel like this is a common, like I've said before, it's a commonality in the United States, and to hear people kind of process it through, hear their story, it's really important. Um, Let me ask you about your teenage years, Rhett. Let me
sure.
ask, What kind of teenager? Were you a troublemaker? Were you someone that tried to bend the rules, get away with shit?
Yes, on the first part. But I didn't ever really try it. Well, yeah, to both things. But okay, so let me tell you. So,
You're just gonna be over here blatantly lying to my face, man. You went.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. So, like, I was in high school. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was very smart with how I did things. I'll say this. So, with my parents, I never like snuck out or anything like that. Or okay. Anyway, I never
Oh my
like
gosh.
in school on paper I was a good kid. That's point blank. I was a good kid and throughout school. I never got in trouble. I never did anything like that. But basically, my idea was, and I think I've talked about this on stream before, but what I did was I said, yo, to my teachers, when I first got into class, I would introduce myself and say, hey, I'm this guy, shake their hand, get to know them for the first like month, and then you're good. You
Yeah.
build a good relationship with them. You turn in your assignments on time, and then, you're good. And then, every once in a while, you don't turn something in. You end up, being like, hey, can I go to this other class? Well, I've already got my work done or whatever. They're cool with it. You're good with that teacher. You build a good rapport in the first month and you're good, and then you can like, I would always say, because I was an actor, I was a theater kid. I would always say like, yo, can I leave and go work on like my lines or something? I would make up something and I just go to the theater and go hang out with my friends. And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Because they knew I would turn in my stuff and they knew that I would do my work on time and then I was always attentive and then I would always answer their questions and do all that stuff. And so they'd be like, yeah, you can go. And then other kids would be like, wait, why does he get to leave? And I'd be like, I don't know.
It's theater. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
All
but-
right.
Mm-hmm.
When you said you mentioned those those college stories, and we'll get into that in the next section. What were you actually? Let me save that question. I'll save that for the next. Let's roll into this next category here. Let's talk a little bit about your education. All right. Let's talk about your high school experience. Off the cuff. All right. You're familiar with the movie Mean Girls, right?
I'm familiar with it. I don't think I've watched it.
Sure. So, in high school, there are all these stereotypes. You got the jocks, the geeks, the emo kids, the outcasts. You name them, they got them. How would you classify yourself in high school, Rhett? What were you?
I didn't have a role, I don't think, because I hated being a theater kid. I hated that. I hated the kids who would like walk down the hall and like sing show tunes and stuff like that. Like I despised that. I mean, I sang show tunes in private, but I didn't like, I wasn't like, we're in this show, like, like I was very much like, I'm gonna be my own dude, and I kind of like because of that, like I ended up fitting in with like a bunch of different groups, but I was never like a part of them. I was like a floater, like where a lot of people knew me, but I wasn't friends with a lot of people, like that's kind of how it was.
Did you find that lonely?
No, because I had a friend group. I had my own friend group, but it wasn't like I wasn't like dedicated to one group. I could go hang out with whatever group, and no one would like bat an eye. But it wasn't. I wouldn't say I wasn't like popular, but like I could just go to any group and like fit in with them. That's kind of how I would describe it.
Okay. I gotta ask the normie questions, of course. What was your favorite subject? What was the thing you excelled at?
English. I was really good at English. I still am. I love writing, but like it's really like when I have to write about bullshit, I hate it. Like what's really weird is that throughout high school and college so far, I've had this issue where like if I'm writing an essay and I write it the night before, I'll do better if I write it the night before than if I spend more time on it. It's every professor and every teacher that I've ever had, they always grade me worse if I spend more time on it, which I've never understood. I always get a lower grade the more time that I put into it. And that's my experience with English. But like English has always been like, I got it,
I feel that. All right. And then as for co-curriculars, you said theater was your main, I would say, in terms of what can you give us some productions? What were you a part of in high school?
It's part of a show called Evita. I don't know if you've heard of that. Have you heard of the show?
Not at all. Evita?
Okay, it's a Spanish show, yeah. There's
Okay.
that a show called In the Heights, and
Oh, you're telling me
also
actual shows. I would thought you were talking like high school plays.
oh well, those are no, we did those in high school, but I have done actual productions too. I have
Oh
worked in
shit.
the
Okay.
professional world as well.
Nice.
But I also did The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I did that, and I actually played Quasimodo. Believe it or
Okay. How is that not an emote yet, Red? How is that not? Has no one made some sort of photoshopped image of you as Quasimodo?
Oh, I mean, this is the first time I've disclosed that. I'm not like I gotta
Get to it.
feed my chat takes what like takes an inch and they'll go a mile with it. So I have to spare what I give them periodically. You know, if I give them all at once, I'm gonna stop streaming at that point.
You're right. That's
I'll get you
done.
with a wave.
Does Quasi get the girl at? Spoiler alert.
Ye-
Kind.
Yes.
I've always wondered that. I never really understood.
Technically, yes.
But he still keeps the hump.
She dies in his arms, I think, and then
So it
that's
counts?
I
What?
like,
What is?
yeah. No. Okay, so what happens at the end is she's said to be a witch because she doesn't want to be with the priest, and she's burned at the stake. Quasimodo saves her, but she's already like dying because she was like inhaling smoke and being burned. So he takes her and he picks her up and he goes to like the catacombs and she dies in his arms. And yeah, but like it's set, it's like the tragic version where like everything that happens to him is like a tragedy. And so like he
Oh,
doesn't get the
gotcha.
girl, but the only thing that he loves is now dead in his arms,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so
Mm-hmm.
like that's how it ends. It's a really dark ending.
Damn.
But yeah.
Did you do any musicals? Did you go to the
Those
musical
were
route?
musicals. Yeah.
Oh,
Those were musicals. Yeah.
shoot. Damn right. There needs to be some sort of leaking of these tapes, man. We need to see some. I don't know if I gotta ask Nardwar or whatever. I need to find out. I need to find these
Nardwuar.
tapes. I need to find those fucking tapes, man. Those sound hilarious. It sounds good stuff at least. I mean, you leaned into that passion. It actually makes a lot of sense that you had this passion for theater and then it translates into streaming content creation. That seems like the perfect balance and ebbs and flows into.
Yeah.
Let's go straight into your last week of high school. All right.
Okay.
So in the last week of high school, there's a lot of emotions going on. There's a lot going through your head, and I think it would be. I would love to get a little bit of insight as to what your decision was right after graduation. Were you going to go to a 4-year? Were you going to go to a community college? Were you going to take time off? Were you going to work? Were you going to travel? What was going through your head right before graduation? What was your plan?
Right before graduation, like the months leading up to it, I was very much like, I don't know what I want to do. Life works in mysterious ways. I was gonna go, and I've told once on my stream, I was actually this close to going into law enforcement because like I was interested in that field. Boy, am I glad that I did not do that.
Yeah.
Like
Holy cow. But
yeah,
rough timing on
considering-
that.
Yeah, that would have been really bad. But I decided not to do that, and so I ended up going into the acting field, which I'd been doing already. I had been acting since I was like 10 years old, and so I was like, I'm gonna pursue that. And then some things happened in the field that made me realize the acting field wasn't necessarily suited for me, and I was like, let me back away and find my own way elsewhere, you know? And streaming kind of like fell into my lap because I was like, I haven't tried this yet, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. But yeah,
I think that's a really important conversation, though, Rhett. You know, I especially as someone who's going from high school to college, there's always that. I think society, especially in the United States, forces you to make up your mind at that spot. You know, all right, what are you doing? So, I mean, I understand that it might be a little bit of a heavy topic, but if there's a way to work around it, how did you come to the realization that the thing that you loved so much in high school wasn't necessarily the thing that was for you as a profession or something that you were going to take further than that?
I have no problem going into this topic.
Okay, sure.
So my issue with the acting field, and I've talked about this before, is the entertainment industry. I'm a brown man. I'm a minority. I, the light might not show that, but um, the field is not suited yet for minorities, and there are a lot of actors that are pushing for that, but I could not find it in myself, considering what I knew about the acting field previously to this realization. The acting field is hyper competitive.
Yes.
Adding a racial barrier in front of that makes it even harder. And I wasn't ready to push through that because it already took a lot of mental fortitude to convince myself that I could make it in the acting field to begin with. And once I realized there was another barrier in front of me that was going to make it even harder than anyone else would have, it was very, very discouraging. I didn't have it. I mentally didn't have it inside me to think like I can push through that.
Mhm.
I made that decision. I was like, I don't want to do this. I can't be the catalyst for this. It's not worth my time,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna feed into it as a minority in this society that we live in at the moment.
Yeah.
Because it would be futile. And I had that realization that like at the end of the day, saying I want to be an actor, period, is already a pie in the sky dream. And it took a lot to convince myself that I would be able to do it. And I'll say I was a damn good actor. But when you think about it, when you have that other barrier in front of you, you have to get through that also. And then you get to the bigger problem of actually competing in that world, you know? So
Mhm.
I realized, I was like, I got to just back out. This isn't
Was
for me anymore.
in regards to this, was this a realization that you saw just observing the landscape of the industry, or was there an instance in where you were discriminated personally for a role or for a part?
Essentially, there was this program I was trying to get into, and I was told there were slots or like a quota
Mm.
for how many students of mixed race could or of it was essentially affirmative action, but it
Yeah.
was worded very odd that they like were doing more to bring in students of color, but it
I
was
see where
like
you're going in.
a
Yeah.
quota. They didn't say quota because
Of course.
quota is racist. You can't say
Exactly.
that. Um,
Exactly.
but they were like, we have spots and we're going to affirm that. And I started to think like, if I do get in, is it just because I'm brown? And then like if I don't get in, is it because those other two already filled in the slots and there's not more slots for people of color? You know, it's you get into this whole like you start getting into mental gymnastics about it, and like it messes with you really hard because you start thinking like, did I get this because of this or did I get it because of my talent? And then that like it's a bad political game to get into, and I didn't want to do that anymore,
Mhm.
because it's already enough. It's already a mental battle, an uphill battle to think you're good enough to act. First of
Mm.
all, against all of these other people, but then you throw in race into it, and like all of this, and that's something you can't change about yourself. So
Yeah.
you're stuck into this box, and it's just it's trash.
Mm. I completely agree. And I think that was really wise of you. Putting pride, passion aside and acknowledging the ugly truth of what's going on here, and pivoting accordingly. So when you made that realization that the industry is, the deck is stacked against you,
Mhm.
essentially, and that you need to figure out a way to move on with your life, was streaming the next outlet, or was there something in between, or what
Mhm.
was the next thing that you thought of that you're like, well, okay, now that this thing needs to be put on hold, if not in the complete back burner, where do I go?
So I said life works in mysterious ways earlier, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I can't make this up.
Mm.
The day I got denied from this program, it was April 1st. I was this is not even the word, this is not even the best part.
Yeah.
I started streaming a week before. I became an affiliate on April 2nd.
Mm.
I got it within that same week. The next day after being denied from that what is it called? Organization or team, or I forgot what I called it. But after being denied, I got sent the email. I got affiliate the next day. It was actually insane, and I thought at the time, I was like, oh, this is like something out of a movie, but like I'll probably drop streaming in like a week, right? And like I think back to that now, and I'm like, wow, like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
definitely.
It's crazy. And now I'm looking, like, as a matter of fact, today I just hit the requirements for partner.
I saw that on
I'm now
Twitter.
75 out of 75, and like this is actually a great day to reflect on that day like that. Like that's crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah,
That's
life
exciting.
worked in mysterious ways. There was nothing in between. It was just like one. It was like, you ever seen that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack
Mm.
Sparrow is on the ship, he's on the sinking ship, and then he walks on the
Ah,
dock and the sink ships below him. You
yes.
seen that? That's
Yeah,
exactly what it was like.
that's awesome. From one thing that's sinking to stable ground, it sounds like
Yeah,
that kind of analogy. I love that a lot. I love that a lot. And I wish you luck on that application, man. I know.
appreciate it. Yeah.
No, of course, that's huge. There are some people that would even just kill to be in that position, let alone be accepted. So the fact that you really have been, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Twitter. I've been watching your streams. I lurk your streams, right? I don't ever type. That's a rule of
Appreciate it.
thumb.
Dude, you should type. You're always welcome there, man.
It's not whether welcome or not. For me, it's just like I like letting you do your thing. It's like watching someone in their natural element. All right, I don't want any attention. I don't even want to be like acknowledged. I just like, it's like TV to me. I take
Yeah,
Twitch
I get
as
you.
literally TV. So good on you. I'm proud of you for that. That's really awesome. Let's talk about work. All right, let's talk about your work experience. In total, how many jobs have you had?
4.
4.
5, including so there's one that I don't really consider it wasn't a job, but I did work for my school district, and I had my own credentials for the district, like how teachers have their login for the
Yeah.
computers. I had my own for that because I worked as a like a tech operator for like the stage, because I was always in
Oh,
the theater.
nice. Yeah.
I learned how to operate the board and stuff like that, so I
Mhm.
did that. But 4 actual jobs.
Nice. All right. Let's start from the top. What was the first job and how old were you?
I was 17 and I worked at Skechers because it was like down the street.
Tell me you've got tell me you've got a pair of Skechers on you right now.
I don't. They're at my
Are
mom's house.
you what? Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
I
There's like
do still own some, but I don't have any with me.
oh no. Okay, yeah. As long as you own them, like it's
Yeah.
you got to bring out the retro flexes. You got to take out those Skechers 98 or whatever, however old your Skechers were. So tell me about that job. Tell me about your time actually tell me what you've learned during your time at Skechers.
It was my first job, and I learned the value of money very quickly. Like I
Oh yeah,
remember in my dude,
yeah.
I remember after so it was one of those things where, like, I don't know if you've ever joined a job or like joined a payroll where you get paid on the second week. It's
Yep.
most jobs do this, but you get paid on the second week. But I joined on the week of payment, so I had to wait 3 weeks to get my paycheck instead of 2.
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking, like, on my 3rd week, I was like, dude, this job sucks, man. Like, I hate working here. And then the money hit my bank account, and I was like, $200. Like, oh my god, I've never had this much money before. It was crazy. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life. Like,
Yeah.
seeing that much money in my bank account. That's like, it's whatever now, but like, it's not whatever. $200 is still a lot, but
Mm.
it's, at the time, that was like the world to me. I was like,
And you
holy
worked for that. That's
shit.
yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, maybe this job isn't so bad anymore. And I kept working for like another like 6 months at that job.
What
Um,
was your first purchase with that cash?
I think I went to a gas station and I bought like a bag of chips on my break or something, because the deposit hit while I was still at work, and I went
Mhm.
on break, and I was like, dude, like, I was like,
I
I
can
can
do
pay
this.
with paper stuff now. It's crazy.
Yeah, big ball. Do you got to give me what's the behind the scenes at a Skechers? What is something that we need to know about Skechers that only the employees, only the people behind the scenes would understand?
Okay, so one of the biggest things is any retail store, really.
Okay.
Um, if you say, "Yo, can you check the back real quick for that pair of shoes?" and they come back with nothing, they didn't check the back. They just went back there and stood there. That's just how it works. That's that's like everyone did that. That's just
Yeah.
how it worked. Like that's honestly just how it worked.
Mm. So that's what you just did. You're just like, yo, can I get the? You got size 6 Skechers shoes? Yeah. I'll check the back real quick. Let me check the back.
Yeah.
You
And
just
then
hang
you
out
you
there.
come back and you say, "Oh, sorry, everything that we have,
It's out.
is on the floor. Yeah, it's on the
You
floor here."
piece of shit. So you're one of those, all right? You one.
No, everyone did it. It's not like some people like even taught me to do that. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. But
That was in the employee handbook. That was in training. They're
Yeah,
like,
just tell them that we don't have it, and then you're good. Like that's it.
yeah,
I
great.
do I do have a story from Skechers if you want like
Shoot.
a story. One time a coworker and I don't know if I told this story on my stream or if I told it somewhere else or I don't know. I've told this story before a couple times.
Hmm.
A coworker and I were working on a shelf in the back room. So you know how like there's I don't know, have you worked a retail job before? Like there's like shelves and like
Yeah,
so there's like
Nordstrom.
shelves in the back. Where have you worked?
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom's, like in the
Yeah.
mall.
Yep.
Nice. So like we had like these shelves in the back that were like stacked with shoes, and my coworker and I were like organizing them, and we were like just fixing them and reorganizing them and making them look good because like they were unorganized. And we did this. We organized the entire back shelf. We came in really early to do it, and we stayed there for I think like it was like 8 or 9 hours fixing it, and it looked really good when we were done.
Mhm.
And one of my coworkers, I don't know how it happened. I really don't know. I think maybe one of the shelves was loose or something. One of my coworkers that wasn't working on the shelf came in, they clocked in, and we were talking to them because we were like just about done.
Mm.
They like leaned on it, and the shelf completely fell over. And these are like 20 foot tall shelves.
Yeah.
And the whole thing toppled over. And I was like,
Holy-
I'm going home. Like,
yeah. We'll
like, yeah,
deal with
I
that
was-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Oh, that's
was-
demoralizing. That is
Yeah.
disgusting.
It was just one of them, so it wasn't like terrible, but it was still like I had just worked on that, like I just put those shoes there.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
But yeah.
Jesus. No problem. Now, fix that up tomorrow. It's fine. You're good to go. But geez, how long did you stay at Skechers for?
This was 6 months. I
6
think.
months.
Yeah.
What made you go your way out?
It was just I was going into my senior year, and I had the job for like just to get extra cash, and I was like I don't want to work during my senior year. I was like whatever, so I just ended up leaving. I resigned.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So tell me about the next job. All right, job number 2. How old were you, and what was it?
The next job I had, I was 18, so the following year in the spring, I worked at Forever 21 because a friend of mine got me a job there. See, the job that I had at Skechers
Yeah.
paid $8.50,
Damn.
and at Forever 21, I got paid a whopping $9. I was
There
like,
you go, 50-cent raise. That's a raise.
let's go, and so I took it, and yeah, I worked there. I don't really have any stories,
Mhm.
but that was an interesting time. I worked there for about the same time as I worked at Skechers because I ended up moving for college. But yeah,
Would you have rather worked at Forever 21 compared to, say, the pay was the same, Skechers or Forever 21?
Forever 21 was pretty fun. I like that job a lot. It was like I got to interact with a lot more people because Skechers, like who goes into Skechers, like
Yeah, you're right.
Think
Honestly,
about it,
you're right. That's a good point. Did you ever get any stuff from Forever 21? Was there any drip that you caught?
Yeah,
there?
actually, I bought a couple things from there. I think I still have the items. Like I bought a couple dress shirts and stuff like that. I think there were a
Okay.
couple like vinyl or wherever they're called, the t-shirts that have stuff on them. Graphic t-shirts. I
Graphic
think is what
tees. Graphic tees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Nice. And you stayed at Forever 21 for how long?
they're called. About the same time. So it was like 6 months.
6 months. All right. There seems to be a pattern here. So then after those 6 months, you dipped out, gave them the deuces, you left. It sounds like number 3 was at what time in your life, and what was it?
Number 3 was it was Whataburger. I worked
There
at
it is.
Whataburger in 2019 when I moved here, and I absolutely hated myself for letting myself get a fast food job. If I'm being completely real with you,
Yeah.
the entire time that I worked there, it was a blur because I like completely. I think I've flushed those memories out because that was a really bad time for me. I told you 2019 was like the worst year of my life. Like that was just like acting wasn't working. My
Mm,
job was trash. I was at a new college. I didn't really know anybody, and I
mm,
like felt really bad. So like I kind of like flushed all of that out to
mm.
kind of move forward. But that I don't really have many stories from that job other than like I just came home smelling like grease every day, and I hated it, and it was terrible.
You know, I'm a strong believer that everyone should actually have one gig that is in the restaurant industry, whether it be fast food or dining or whatever, because I think there's a lot to be learned from
Oh yeah.
there. What are some takes that you have? I know you say you kind of fleshed out the experience, but tell me the takes about what it took to be an employee at Whataburger.
What do you mean?
I'm
Like,
sorry, not the takes, but I mean, what did you learn through your experience working at a fast food industry in the fast food
what
industry?
so you're absolutely right that I think people should work in fast food to get an experience and a feel for it, and you get a really big appreciation for fast food workers once you're done working at a place like that. Because every single time I go through a drive-through now, I picture myself there, and I'm like, damn. I
Mm,
remember how I felt, taking these orders and like when someone would scream at me or like be impatient with me or something like that.
mhm,
You put yourself in their shoes and you realize like how bad it can be because like you don't get time to like. I remember I got yelled at by a customer one time, and then my manager also got on me. I forgot what it was about. I think like I gave him the wrong drink or something, and then they
mm,
told my manager, and then my manager got on my ass about it. And then like you can't take a second for yourself and be like, was that my fault? Was that not my fault? You're like, am I good? Am I not good? You have to just move. You have to keep going because like it's so fast. So like you end up sitting with thoughts for a long time that you don't address in your head, and like it can really like mess with you because you're like you'll stand there or you'll walk around like a pit in your stomach like thinking damn like did I mess up or did I not, and you don't have time to like talk about it, and then your boss is like yo get this done, and you're like they're mad at me, the customer's mad at me,
yeah.
it's a bad experience, and it's like it's just like it's so fast, and like every time I go through a drive through and they're like sorry we're slow right now, I'm like no it's totally fine, like I
Mhm,
get it, because stuff happens, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't really appreciate about fast food workers or workers is that like it's so much work
hmm,
for so little pay. I've worked way less at all the retail stores that I've ever worked at than I ever did at that store. And I was paid I think like 850
mhm.
it was nine something. It was like 925 maybe. I think it was 925. But like it's crazy how much work you do for such little pay. I hated it.
Damn. Yeah, no, it's true. It's humbling, dude. It's such humbling
Yeah,
work because you truly
absolutely.
you get chewed out, your ass is chewed out, you bottom of the barrel. People don't acknowledge you. People don't. The humanity is lost, especially in the restaurant industry. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but there is such a disconnect between recognizing that this person is a human and they have their own shit in their own lives, but people have this self interest, especially when that hangriness when people are gonna come in try to ask for the world and they may not get that and they feel like they're entitled to it. Um,
Yeah, I feel like that's a lesson that people can learn in general. It's not even just like I think it's especially amplified when you're in a position like that, when you're put
yeah.
in a position that's considered lesser than most people, because I
Hmm.
think that's how most people view fast food jobs. At least that's the way I felt when I was working there. Like people look
Definitely.
down at me. Like put yourself in whoever's shoes you're talking to or whatever. Like think about it. Think about how you're treating that person, how you're treating whatever in that scenario, and think like, what if that was me? And that's just a lesson in general that people like have to learn. It's not just in like a fast food drive-through or like
Hmm.
a retail store. It's like just think about it when you're interacting with anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. So you stayed there for again how long at Whataburger?
That was almost a year, I think.
At a year. What would be your order, by the way? If you had to eat there, what's your order?
A number two ketchup mayo cheese only with the Coke light ice.
Holy shit, guys. Did you see that? Did you see how his eyes just glazed over? He went straight into like sicko mode. You went into a memorized script, my man. You went into you gave us, you just,
God.
I'm sorry. I think I need to apologize to you for having you utter those words. I never want you to ever say that again, my man. I don't want you to relive those moments.
I probably recite like the entire. Maybe not anymore. It's been like
It's been a
almost
while.
almost 2 years now. But yeah.
It's been a while. All right. So when when you finally got to say, I'm out of here, deuces, I'm done with Whataburger. What was it? Well, first off, how did you come to the conclusion of that part of your work, your life?
It's actually very interesting. Again, life works in mysterious ways. The pandemic was just barely starting. It was when like
Wow.
there was murmurs in it, murmurs about like,
Yeah.
oh, there's this thing, and everyone's like, oh no, you're overreacting, this and that. Like no one's really taking it seriously. Like it's Ebola, it's whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, this is kind of a serious thing. I don't know if I want to work in a fast food restaurant when this is going on. But I was
Mhm.
also like kind of done. Like like my mindset was like kind of I was kind of getting somewhere. This is the beginning of 2020 when I was starting to take Twitch seriously. I was like, I was like, this job is holding my mindset back because I can't keep being like, yeah, I'm a streamer guy, and then like being like, yeah, can I take your order? Because it's degrading. It's degrading to your mindset. Like it's two very different. Like when you're streaming, you have to be confident. You have to be like sure of yourself. Like you're ready to go. You've got this, and that. You're planned. But then you go into a fast food job, and you're like at the mercy of people who could just completely shit on you. And it's like it's a terrible like you have a really high and a really low in the same day, and it like messes with your mind. And
Mhm.
so I was like, I need to get something that's a little more stable with every day, at least for my mindset. And I was like I said, 2019 was trash. Like I was already kind of in like a bad mindset to begin with. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop. I was like, I put in my 2 weeks. I held the 2 weeks out. I stopped working, and in like a week, I got another job, which is where I work now. And since then, I've just been like kind of doing my own thing, and I love the job that I have now. Like everyone's there, everyone that's there is really nice, and it's been a good time at the new job that I have.
So
I mean, oh, good.
what's the job you have now? Like let's get into that. What are you doing right now in terms of work?
So I work at Target at the
Nice.
moment, and that is a fantastic job. I highly endorse that company. I love them. I mean, I don't endorse them as a streamer. I'm just saying as a person,
Hey, get that
that
sponsorship money right there.
that is separated as a human being. My name is Ra. As Ra, the
Mm,
person, I think working there is great. As Retrora, I have no opinion of Target.
mhm.
Um, but that's just how I look at that. But
Why is it so great there? Why do you feel like you can give that, glowing endorsement as an individual?
it's just like first of all, the pay is great. I make 15 an hour compared to 9 that I did. Um,
Huge, huge.
as well as that, they give you like benefits. It's great. I have like good hours. They're really flexible. My coworkers, my managers are really understanding about a lot of different things. It's really nice. Like they are extremely nice. Like, everyone that I know is extremely nice. All my coworkers, we get along pretty well. I have actually a couple of friends that I hang out with outside of work every once in a while.
That's it.
It's really nice. So like on top of having a good job, like I ended up getting like a couple friends that I work with and like hang out with, and it's like it's really nice because I can back away from Twitch. Like some of my friends know that I do stream, but like it's nice to like have friends outside of
Mm,
streaming. It's crazy because like when I first got into streaming and I first got in like to 2020, I was very much like I want to meet streamers so they can understand what it's like to stream. And then once I got that, I was like, we're good here. Now I need to realign myself in the real world again. Now it's just like finding that balance. So
yeah, I
that's
love
very
that.
much where I'm at.
That's huge. That's incredibly important because, like, as much as we love Twitch, as much as we love streaming, um, you know, we do eventually have to press that end stream button, and we're crashing back into reality. That we're back
Mhm.
into our room. Because and correct me if I'm wrong, Rhett. Like, do you have that streamer mode? Like, you're zoomed in, like the computers around you, the lights are there, you got you got your cam, you got your mic, and it clicks, and you're on. But
Absolutely.
the second it's off, it's like it's this weird crashing of like it's like the euphoria is zapped out, and you're just like, fuck, I'm zoned. You're gonna experience this in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes time when you're done with your freaking subathon as well as this interview. Like it's a ton of stuff going on in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's so that's your current job. That's what you're currently doing. How long you been there for?
I'm coming up on a year next month,
Nice.
I think.
Oh.
So yeah, and that time has flown by
Mhm.
compared to when I worked at the other job at Whataburger. It's like it was time dragged. It
Yeah.
was crazy how much time dragged. But I also owe time moving as fast because the job has done a lot for me mentally,
Mhm.
and streaming has also like it's been like a very gradual upwards trend. So it's always given me something to be like, yo, I'm gonna go home and work on this because I'm in the right mindset to go and work on this. I didn't get shit on by like 10 customers today
Mhm.
over like pickles being in their sandwich, so it's fine. I can go home and feel good about myself and be fine. So it was really nice.
Nice. Let's lean into the last topic of the life stories, all right,
Sure.
Rhett? And then after that, we'll get into the community questions from everyone that's been watching this evening. The last topic is romantic relationships. All right, Rhett? This is the it's the hottest topic of the evening. Everyone they're going to be raising up their volume. They're going to want to lean into the computer a little bit, maybe the cell phone. Let's take it like the work history, all right? In total, how many official relationships? I'm not talking one night stands. I'm not talking who you texted on the side. I'm not talking who you swiped right on. How many people had the official Miss Retrora stamp of approval? Like this is your boo. All right. How many of those?
Retrora.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me think. I think it's 4 in total.
4 in total. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get to it. All right. The first one. How old were you? How'd you guys meet?
It's 14. It was in high school through theater.
Okay. How did what caught your eye?
She was pretty. I don't know. I was
Is that-
14, so I don't
it was
like,
purely it was purely pretty. How did you ask her to be your girlfriend?
We talked a lot, so like we hung out a lot, and like I think it just came up through like a text conversation. I was 14, so like cut me some
Yeah.
slack, but
Of
I was
course, of
like,
course.
we were kind of already like really flirty with each other, and I was like, hey, do you want to just like make this official? And she was like,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's kind of
Okay.
that's kind of like how that one worked. But
And
that was so long ago. It was like 7 years ago now.
How long did that last?
That relationship lasted, I think, around like maybe 3 or 4 months.
Whoa. Okay. So 3-4 months. You're 14, correct? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And how did it end? Like, I'm always curious about how you end these kind of like, when you're young relationships. How does this go? Because no one has experience in this, especially when you start off. And so like you're kind of like, oh fuck, what do I do? What do I say? How did you end it? Or how
Yeah,
did it end? I'm sorry.
I really don't remember. I think that I was just like so to be on the record, I've unfortunately ended all of my relationships. I've been
right.
the one that's ended it. I think that I really don't remember. I think we just like ended up like we just kind of like grew apart a little bit. And I was like, hey, I just want to be single or something like that. It was
Oh my god!
honestly, like, I
14-year-old Retrora said,
You're
"I'm
putting me on the
sorry,
spot here. I'm
I
not
gotta
used to
get
the-
I
I'm
gotta
not
get
used to,
some
like,
side
talking about
pussy on the
this.
side." What in the world? This 14-year-old you was like, I don't need this
haven't-
shit. I don't
I
need this
haven't
shit.
talked about this I haven't talked about this in forever. Like any of this, like how I felt about any of this is crazy.
What? How? Did
Whoa, what's funny? What's
how?
funny?
Because I'm trying to understand this. All right. So did you do it to her face or was this over a text?
No, this is face to face. I think all of them have been face to face.
Okay. So with this 14-year-old, but when you're both 14, I need to preface that, all right, so it doesn't get out of context. You're both
Right.
14. You're saying, hey, I'm not into it. It's been 4 months. This is just not me. Did she take it? No, she didn't take it well, I'm assuming.
No, she didn't take it well. But not in my face. She didn't take it well later on, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean that's most relationships. If you've ever been in one, and you guys like, if I mean, like it was one of those things where like I don't know, I was just like I don't know, I want to be single. I guess I don't know, I just I want to be single. Maybe
Yeah.
I guess it was I don't know, it was weird.
I like that. Okay, so let's move on from that one there. So I'm sorry. Someone said call me Rhett, and that just ruined me. I'm sorry.
What
That
the
shit got me.
hell?
I'm trying to be professional. That was the one I usually don't
Who
break.
said that? Who said that? Who
I
said
don't.
that?
I saw it in my because I
Neither
see
did.
my Streamlabs thing, and it just came up, and I just got to move there.
That
So
was one of my viewers. I already
of
know
course,
it is.
no, it's not. Yeah, might not want to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's just too much, man. I couldn't. I broke. So your next relationship being when? How old were you, and how'd you guys meet?
I was 17 with my next
Okay.
relationship.
High school.
And we met. I think through one of my friends was dating this one girl, and she had like a group of friends, and I thought this one girl was cute. It's kind of how it works in high school.
Mhm,
And we ended up talking, and we ended up hitting it off, and it was cool. We hung out for a good bit.
mhm.
We talked a lot through text and like FaceTime and stuff. And we ended up dating. We went on a couple dates. We ended up making it official, and then like that's like basically it. Like my high school like relationship stories are really boring. But that was basically it. And we were together for I think like 5 months, I would say. Most of my relationships, at least at this time, were pretty short. Like those two were pretty short. But yeah.
So with those relationships, all right. Well, specifically with the one we're talking about, okay. How did that one kind of start degrading? How did that one start not working out, and you recognizing you're seeing where the pieces are falling, and it's not aligning to what you want?
Um if I'm being very honest with you, I think a lot of what drove me to be this way was like it's hard to talk about. It's very like it's not hard to talk about, but it's like it's acknowledging an insecurity that I have or like a flaw in myself that I can share.
Hmm.
Is that like I would see myself seeing too far into the future with me and someone in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And then I would be scared that what if this person is the only person that I ever talk to for the rest of my life? And that's a very shitty thing to think, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a very shitty thing to think. But I would think that and think like, damn, is this it? And then I'd start thinking, is this who I want for the rest of my life? And I'm 17. Like I look back at that, and I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
you were an asshole.
Yeah,
But like,
I mean, give yourself a break there. You're a kid there, so it's like I
right.
wouldn't say asshole, but like, what would be the prerogative then to date in the first place?
Well, I mean, it's like it's fun. Like when you're a kid, you're younger. You're like, whatever. It's whatever. You're like everyone's got a girlfriend, right? That's just
Yeah.
kind of like the thing you've got going through your head.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I was thinking. It was very like on the fly and like, oh yeah, maybe this will work out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it ends up being like, oh shit, like I actually have a lot in common with this person. I actually like them a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this fully aligned with what I want in the future? And then you start thinking like, oh, what the hell? And it ends up like building on itself, and then I end up breaking up. This is kind of how it worked.
When you broke up with that second girl, did you bring up that mentality of like you're not who I see myself being with?
No,
long
no,
term?
no, 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 no. That
Okay.
is fucked up. I don't think I'd ever say that to anyone. That is.
Well, no, actually, I don't think
You
it
don't think
is.
you don't think that's
No.
messed up?
I think that's an honest answer. I think like because especially when you date, you learn more about that person, and then to just tell the truth of like, hey, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like I don't see us compatible for the long term. I feel like that's better than the bullshit of it's not you, it's me kind of deal. I think it's better than the bullshit of like kind of giving them a white. Of course, pat it better than the way I just said. That's too blunt.
Right. Yeah.
But that is the underlining, truth of the matter. The fact is, I don't see long term with you. Like, I just don't. After being with you, after seeing what I saw, and like we tested this out and we tried it, we gave it a good go. But
See,
it just
it's not even that like it's not it's not even that. It's not like I don't see myself long term with you. It's that I do see myself long term with you, but I'm scared. Like, what if this is the only thing I experience? You know, and what if I'm like this is like the relationship is great, but what happens if I'm missing out on something else? And that's why I would say I was an asshole. You
Oh,
get me? That's why I
gotcha,
say it's an
gotcha.
asshole thing to think, because it's like, what if down the line I think you're not enough? You know,
Mhm,
that's why
mhm.
it's messed up.
Okay, I think I catch what you're throwing down, Mister.
Yeah.
I think I catch what you're throwing down. But and the thing is, at that young age, 17, like you said, you haven't even met a lot of people just yet.
Exactly.
But you also wanted to feel at that moment of, well, everyone else is dating. Why don't I? Like, why don't I give it a shot? That's fair. That's
Exactly.
fair play.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm understanding you a little bit better then. Now I get that. I get that. Let's go on to the third one. Who, how'd you meet this third person, and how old were you?
The third person, I was 18. I met them through. I was doing events. So I was also an NHS and like
National Honor
student
Society. Yeah.
council. I
Okay.
was
That I'm
yeah.
not surprised by this. I don't know why. I'm not
I was
surprised.
I was one of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I graduated top 10% if you want to add that on there too. But
Nationally or within your
yeah,
school, your class?
within my school.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But we met because I did a lot of those events. I did a lot of that kind of thing, and she was part of that stuff. I think she had like a couple AP class or DC classes with me, and we talked a lot. I knew a lot of her friends already, and so we ended up talking for a good bit. And like that relationship was kind of rocky,
Hmm.
like kind of rocky. If I'm being honest with you, I wasn't. I was not. That was probably the only relationship I ever like walked out dissatisfied with, because like she was very adamant about hanging out with her ex, and I was like, "Dog, what is no? Like, like that's the no." And they were like, we're friends or whatever, but they'd only like not been dating for like I think roughly like 8 months to a year. So like
Yeah.
to me, that was still fairly recent. Like that was the last time I was dating someone else myself, and I didn't see myself talking to my ex like that. And
Uh,
so it was very like it was very, very much like me being like, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with that," and
yeah.
then her being like, "Oh, it's fine," and then I like drew a line. What happened was the catalyst for this was she like visited her boyfriend a lot, and like she would
Oof.
text me while she was there or whatever, but it wasn't like, to my knowledge, and I've asked her about this years later, um, and she still says no, like nothing happened between her and her ex. But I asked her specifically, like, I went to college orientation for my freshman year of college, and I was
Mhm.
like, hey, don't go to your boyfriend's house while I'm gone for like 4 days. And she
Mm.
still did when I came back, and I was like, no. And that's when I ended the relationship. Like that was
Can
that
eh,
was too much for
did
me.
did you ever get confirmation or closure to yourself, realizing like, all right, they're doing something behind my back, or was it more of like, I told you that this is a thing that I don't like, and I'm like, it hurts me. I wouldn't even say insecure. It just hurts me to know that this
It
is
was
something.
like there were rumors that I had heard from other people, but it
Yeah.
was more so the second thing that you said that was like, I'm uncomfortable with it, and you're like going behind my back to
Yeah.
do that. That
That's
was
fucked.
my issue with it,
That's
which was
fucked.
like, yeah.
No, 100%. And like as an official relationship, you've set that standard. I'm sure there are things that she said about herself that you're like, you will respect that of her, and because you.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's really shitty. It always I get really sussed out by that kind of stuff, where it's like the other side of this is, I know plenty of ladies that have said, well, they are my friend, and I care about them as a friend. I can't just undo that. But like you've also been like intimate with that person, like you've dated that person. There was a romantic history, and so for you not to kind of acknowledge and respect that fact is, and especially without you there, it's more of a one-on-one. That's a whole other
Absolutely.
game.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Like
other game.
I was like starting to like kind of warm up to the idea that maybe he's not a bad guy, maybe it's not like a bad thing, but like
Yeah.
when I was like, hey, I'm going out of town, can you not? And then I found out that she did. I was like, oh yeah,
Wow.
this is done.
Done.
Like that was a
Yeah.
betrayal of trust at that point. It was no
Exactly.
longer like a hey, I'm don't do this. It was like you blatantly did it when I asked you to not. when
Mhm.
it's supposed to be like there's supposed to be trust.
Exactly. Like that's the foundation of any relationship is there. So, you end that relationship, it's done. You're back on the market, you're a free agent, and you're just like, all right, well, this shitty thing happened. Let's figure out what next. Who's the fourth relationship?
It's
And
my
and
last relationship.
all right. And how long? All right, how'd you meet that individual?
I met her because I was in still acting my freshman year of college. We had this whole building dedicated to the acting majors, and I met her there because she was also in the same major as I was. I was in theater education because I wanted to go into teaching, and I was acting too, but like your major doesn't determine whether or not you get into stuff or not. It's just about
Yeah.
So I was very much like, we talked a lot, and one time she was like telling me we talked because like she was part of like this group that I had, and she was telling me this one time that she was like having trouble with like she did that thing where like girls do sometimes. It's just like, oh, this guy like doesn't like want to give me attention or whatever. And she was like
Ah,
telling this to me, and I was like the guy friend, I guess, in this situation. We'd only been talking for like a couple of days, and
yeah.
so because I was like, whatever. At the time, I was very like, I'll just pull my cock out, just put it on the table. I was like, hey, if you can't find a dude, I'm emotionally available. And she's like, what? And then like it
What a
worked.
shot. What a shot.
It worked. It actually worked.
I'm
That's how
emotionally
it worked.
available. That is hilarious. How did she respond when you said that line? I need to know. That's hilarious.
She was like, oh, because this was through text. She was like, oh, well, I'll let you know. And then we started talking a lot more. And then like eventually it just kind of like it eased its way into like flirting and like being romantic and stuff like that. That's
It's
just
awesome.
very, very smooth transition.
And how long did
But
that relationship last?
about I I want to say 3 months. It's
Okay.
a very short relationship. Um, but this relationship was the most adult kind of like it was like it was the transition when I realized like I was becoming an adult, and I started getting a lot of it. This is like I think my first time dealing with anxiety was when I was with her. And I think about this all the time. I feel awful about this relationship that I had, um because I ended it on terrible terms. Like I feel terrible about it, like still to this day. Um
Yeah.
we were dating, and I had huge feelings for this girl. She had huge feelings for me.
Mm.
We were talking for a good bit. I was always at her house. Like I would always like sleep over at her house. Like I ended up because she had an apartment and I had a dorm, and so I was always there. And
Mm.
I started thinking because I started getting. It was around the time I was doing my last show. I was applying for this the program that I was talking about before, and I started getting all of this in my head that like I have to work harder because I'm a minority, and I have to do more,
Yeah.
and having a girlfriend is holding me back from working as hard. And I think back to that now, and I'm like, you're such an idiot, because I ended up not going into the acting field, and now like my foot's in my mouth. But because I was just straight up honest with her, and I told her like I was like I don't feel like I feel like I'm not doing enough for myself,
Mm. Hmm.
um because I'm with you. And I remember as soon as I said that, I regretted saying it. And
That's
and
brutal.
she
That's a brutal
she
line.
bawled her eyes out right in front of me, and I was like, "Fuck!" And then like I stay my dorm was like 2 miles away from her house, um, and it started like raining that night, and I just packed up my stuff in my bag and I walked home. I walked to my dorm, and just felt like shit the whole time.
Mm.
And then like I got back, and then I did the show, and then like a few months later, um I got like rejected from the program, and I was like, fuck.
Yikes.
And
Yikes.
then uh the next day I
Hmm.
became an affiliate on Twitch, and that's where the story goes. Like
Yeah.
that's
Upward
and that was the
trajectory.
last- that was the last person that I dated.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's yeah.
Damn. From that relationship
Mhm.
specifically, what did you learn about yourself?
I learned that sometimes your passions shouldn't be your passions and love should not interfere with one another. Love should always be more than your passions, because if you lose that part of your humanity, you become a cog in the machine and you become something you don't want. Most people don't want to become. Sorry, voice crack.
Yeah.
You don't want to become that.
No, I feel that.
Something you don't want to ever have happen to you. I would say it's a bad thing to let yourself fall into that.
Hmm. I love that. I love that a ton. That's good stuff. That's true. We're gonna go into the last part of the evening. All right, we're gonna go into the community
Sure.
questions. I appreciate, Rhett. You've killed it. I appreciate your story. I appreciate you being so candid and honest with everyone this evening. That being said, everyone here has been sending in questions, and again, exclamation mark
Okay.
Q. If you have any more, I will cut it off in probably 5 more minutes. I will also probably take one more piss break. Do you have to go to use the restroom at all, Rhett?
Yeah, I'll go if you need
Go
to
ahead.
go.
Yeah, no, you
All
go
right.
ahead. Go use the restroom first, all right? No. Oh my gosh, guys, we got him. We got him, all right? Nah, I'm joking. He's doing awesome. How you guys doing tonight? Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting your mans. I do gotta take a piss too. I'm not gonna even fucking lie. I gotta take a piss. And also anonymous, you've been out of pocket. Thanks so much for the follows, guys. I appreciate you just sticking around. Listen to your boy Rhett. He's had a hell of a day, guys. Getting those numbers for partner, being able to apply today. Hopefully he takes the night to rest first and then apply tomorrow. But, I understand the excitement with that, dude. He's killing it. He is, dude. He is. Time to pee true. Hi, moms. Hey. Okay, by the way, you motherfuckers, you guys are fucking hilarious, but chill, all right? Can you chill? He's spilling some guts over here, and I do see your shit, all right? I see your shit, all right? And I'm trying not to laugh. I'm being professional, all right? This is If you don't think that I don't see the bullshit that you've been writing all evening, you're done, all right? That's why that emote exists, because I know people in my community try to fucking make me laugh at times, and that's when I turn it off, all right? You guys are this close. I've done this 60 times. I've never turned off my chat. You guys have been close, all right? Because there's some shit. He's talking about his girl. Oh, what did you learn? Oh, I got syphilis? You guys are fun. Oh, and he's trying to talk about his fucking, dating someone. He's like, in college I'm experiment. Oh, he likes men. He loves men. You guys are fucking rude. I'm dying, man. I'm dying. I can't. She didn't play. Yeah. I knew that I had to correct the 14-year-old line. If I didn't correct the 14-year-old line, that is an insta done. All right. That is the call me Rhett joke is gonna. That's, I'm sorry, Carson. Like, he's forever a meme for that shit. It was too much. You guys are out of pocket, man. You guys are too funny. That I will give you credit where credit's due. I have not laughed that many times on this show. That is very good stuff. I'll be right back. I've scrolled down. They're yours, all right, Rhett? They're yours. I'll take a piss real quick.
Wait, what happened? Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. I got you, Doug. I got you. Yo, chat. Yo. Hi, chat. Go away. Okay, my bad. Viewer questions. Oh boy, dude. I can't wait for chat. Did you guys see my TIE fighter? Dude, check it out. I made this earlier. Look, it's got a little guy in there. Isn't it sick? This is like my favorite Lego set ever, dude. It's so cool. Look at it, dude. Isn't it cool? What is that, dude? Yeah, cool. Awkward! Shut the fuck up! God! Awkward! I hate all of you, dude. I actually hate all of you, dude. I heard him lecturing you, dude, when I was taking a piss, dude. You guys are terrible. God, you guys are terrible, dude. Add awkward? No, you guys don't know how to control yourselves, dude.
They're out of pocket, Rhett. They're out of pocket.
No, I
don't-
know,
if this
I
is a
know. I apologize.
I know. No, I haven't. I'm usually good at not laughing. All right. Out of security, I do have to have the chat up. I don't read it at all. I got my script down below in terms of questions and the flow of the show, but there were so many jokes this evening that I had to restrain myself because I was like, holy shit, like this is too much. I'm overwhelmed by the jokes and I'm trying not to laugh. But let's get into community questions here. Again, a lot. If some of these are reactionary, react. However, some of these are
Okay.
pop-off questions. We'll get to as many as we can here.
Am I allowed to abstain from questions?
That's up to you. That's up to you.
Sure.
Totally
Cool.
fine. I'm not here to no gotchas either. But I'm gonna apologize to you right now because I'm coming in with ignorance. If there is an inside joke between your community that you guys are more familiar with than I'm gonna try my best to suss out the questions. But here we go. All right.
Okay.
First question here is what's your favorite Twitch emote?
At the moment, I would say, "Are you a girl?" I don't know if you've seen that emote. I can link it to you if you
I
want.
have not. But can you
You've
put in
never
the
seen
chat?
it?
Are
I
you
got
a
you,
girl?
yeah.
I could put that in. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on, I got it.
Shoot.
Where is it? I got it.
Are you a girl? Okay. Holy cow.
There you go.
Let me see what's going on
It's
here.
so good.
So clearly, let me try to assume something here. You use this emote when you're trying to suss out if the person that's new to the chat is a female. Am I correct in that assumption?
I don't, but my chat does, which makes it like 10 times more funny.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's ridiculous, but that's hilarious that this exists. How would you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Are you the bottle and wide hardo guy?
No, I am not.
I have no idea. I have no idea. That's okay. This one is just ridiculous. Why did you start streaming?
Because I talked to my friend Coaster about this before. Your passions that you have are usually a lot more broad than you think they are. I had a passion for acting, and I really loved doing that. And I realized when I started streaming that like the passion that I had for acting was not just for stage acting. It was being an entertainer and like making people laugh and having fun with them. And that's kind of where my taste in entertainment came from, was acting. And that's, I wanted another facet for that, and I found it in streaming, which is
Mhm.
why I went to it.
Hmm.
It's essentially what it was.
Nice. Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on sitting backwards on the toilet?
I've never done that, but I'm sure it would present its benefits if I tried it.
Yeah, then reverse cowgirl the toilet. All right, good to know.
Have you done that, or
No, well, there's a reason not, because I just feel like I think it's just kind of gross. I think it's because that back end doesn't have that like divot, where so you're gonna put your wiener underneath. That's disgusting. Like that's disgusting.
yeah.
The logistics make no sense. The logistics make no sense of it.
True.
Were there times where you just felt like giving up streaming?
Yes, multiple times.
How did you overcome that?
The first time was very like, it was more so that I just wanted to like kind of give up in general of most things that I was pursuing. And you push past it by just like thinking that like, you gotta learn, I guess, that the problems that you have and the adversities that you face, regardless of whether it's streaming or whatever, your problems fix themselves by you fixing them. And it's not like the hardships you face, especially in an industry like this, it's very much up to you. And that was something that I've realized a lot. And that like if you go through stuff, you've gotta push through if that's something you really want. And streaming especially for me at this point in my life, like it's very much something that I want. And so it's been something that I've wanted ever since I stopped acting. It was just like
I love that. Yeah.
the next facet. So it's you like dig deep and you think like, what do I really want, and you just push past, because at the end of the day, that's all that should matter. That's
Exactly.
kind of where I come from on that.
Nice. Can you ask him when he's going to play SWTOR with another female streamer, Kaylee May? What does that mean?
I will not be playing SWTOR with Kaylee May. There's this streamer that I've never even really interacted with, that my chat ships me with. I don't even know her, nor am I interested in her, but my chat keeps shipping me with her and saying that I should play games with her or whatever.
Why does your chat ship you with her? Do you have a reason? Do you have any
So
understanding?
I have to explain this now. So on my alt stream, I won't leak what it is here, but I have an alt stream, and I was going through emotes to add on the alt stream, and my chat linked me this one emote. It's called One More Time, and it's this dance where this girl goes like this, and she just does this.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, I'll add it because it's a dance emote. We don't have a dance emote on my stream, so I added it. And then my chat kept spamming it for whatever reason, and then they wanted it to be on main, so they added it on main. And it's this girl. Her name's Kaylee May, and she does TikToks, and she also streams on Twitch. I'm literally giving a free plug right now. But like, she also has this other remote called Wavy, and so they made me add these two, and I don't even remember adding Wavy. I think one of my mods added it. I could be wrong, but they added both of these emotes, and now they're just spammed, and like they like. I won't even go into like the shit they do. They're degenerates, but like that's they just ship me and her together, and I don't. It's weird.
Hey, you never. Hey, who knows? No,
no! Don't encourage them.
What do I break the fourth wall? I start saying, "Hey, Kaylee May, nice to meet." No, I just start opening the doors of conversation there.
Invite her to the next podcast.
We actually have her on call. Bring her in the Discord.
Oh my God,
that would be. If only I knew. Honestly, if only I knew, I would have at least attempted. Where did you get that 0 viewer hat? Me want.
It's from Ludwig. Did a drop of merch. He has another set that's out right now, but it's not this. It is not this. There's one that has a moderator hat and one that has like a Twitch sub on it.
Yeah.
Like a sub thing on there, but he does. I don't think he sells this one anymore. For like a merch thing that he did forever ago, was like a Smash thing, but I don't know if you can get it anymore. You might be able to find one like on eBay or something. I don't know.
What do you? Whoa. Okay. Rhett, I'm gonna give you this one. Let's see what you got. All right. If you want to skip this one, I understand it fully. Your thoughts on the whole Four Connor situation?
I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that one.
Let me ask you this: why the pass? If not, I understand the not talking, but why the pass?
I would pass because it's just like, it's a touchy subject. Obviously, what he said was wrong. I just think that that's just like, I feel like it's none of my business to get into that. And I just think that like what could be said is already said. I feel like it's very blatant what happened, and that's it. That's just like what happened is there. The people who were involved reacted to it, and I feel like the people who reacted to it took the right decisions to react to it in that way. And I think that's all that needs to be said. I don't feel like I could contribute any more to that conversation.
When did you start taking streaming super seriously?
January of 2020.
What? Do you ever grab your wang, and how do you like your fries cooked? Xenus Pains. Zeniv's Pain.
You can skip that one.
All right. Okay, when are you announcing your relationship with Kaylee May?
Never.
Never. How did you get a global emote made for you? Too spicy clap. What does that mean?
The emote too spicy. All of my chat thinks that I look like that emote. That's all it is. In your chat. I don't think it looks like me, but you can tell me if you think it does. My feelings won't be hurt if you say it does.
Like I could see the angle. It's definitely the eyebrows. The eyebrows and the hair don't help like that. But he's too like I think you're slimmer. I'll give you that. I think you have a slimmer face than that.
Thank you.
So I'll give you credit where credit is due. But definitely, I could see the facial structure from the nose upwards is where it's
Fair enough.
It's caught. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, new viewer here. I'm hearing from Retro's chat that he's interested in another streamer named.
Oh my god!
I did not think that I would read it that far to see that. That's fucking hilarious. See what I mean? You got funny people, Rhett. You got funny people in your community.
I know. I love them to death, but God, they are annoying.
Leather couch? What does that mean? Does that have any?
Yes, leather couch. Yes, I'll enter. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but yes, leather couch.
What is that like a casting couch joke? I'm not very sure. What?
No, I won't go into detail.
Okay, leather couch, you freak. Did I just say something like sus and now that's on it? Like, is this some sort of code word?
No, you're good.
I swear this is like when in high school when they make up sex moves. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Did you leather couch her? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got leather couch the other night.
No. It's nothing to do. It's a solo act, moms. That's what it is. It's not with a partner. It's a solo act purely.
What?
Do you want me to explain it to you?
Yes, go. It's yours. The floor.
One of my viewers asked me, have I ever fucked a leather couch? And I said no. And now all of them keep bringing up leather couch because they think it's hilarious. I don't know where they got that.
You know what? You're right. That one's for you. That one's you. You're a freak, dude. Didn't you say at the beginning of the incorrect, Rhett? At the very beginning of the interview, you said they're a reflection of me. Did you not say that about your community here?
You're not wrong. Yeah.
That is check there.
Okay.
Okay. I am wholesome, says Yao Zhang. Okay, I'll give you a pass on this, but I will just read it aloud because I do see two people asking, what was his first time? All right, if that's something you've already shared with everyone.
I have not shared that with them. They keep asking me. I'm not going to go into detail on that.
Why does everyone keep asking for code? Is that a thing? What the fuck's code? I've deleted 3 codes.
I hate my community so much. There's this game called Shell Shockers that I play, and every time you go into the category, people will come into the chat asking for the code because they want the code to the game. And all of my regulars caught on to that, and they now just ask code every single time, like whatever comes up. If there's a chance to ask a question, they'll go code ? Because people will just come in asking that.
This is ridiculous. How did he perfect leeching in Matthew's chat? Smiley face. Yang Yang. Yang Yang. What? Who's Matthew?
Matthew is Mizkiff.
Oh shit. Oh shit. See, this is how normie. Now I'm showing too much of that. This is the normal wife. I'm sorry about that. I thought Matthew was just a regular person. I thought that's. Oh well, he is technically. But what's up?
I can answer that. I haven't perfected it yet. I'm still working on it.
What's the if you had to make a fucking BuzzFeed article or YouTube how to leech on Matthew's chat? What is your pro tip?
Talking offline chat.
Really, that's been the move.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there you go, guys. There you go. Here's something a bit more wholesome. Mr. Retrograde, thanks for making my 2020 a better year. I hope you get partners soon, and I'm really happy for you that I came across your community. I'm glad to call myself a Retrora frog. And that's from Interesting. Are you familiar?
Thank you, Interesting.
I see her everywhere, dude. I swear.
Yeah, she is everywhere.
She's fucking everywhere. You could ask him about his first big raid on Twitch. What was your first big raid on Twitch?
Actually, it was my first big raid on Twitch was from Jay Schlatt. You know Schlatt on Twitter, on everywhere.
Yeah,
he raided me with around 700 viewers before he really blew up.
That's awesome.
And what's crazy is today he took his offline raid, or he took his offline viewers and he raided me with that. It was like 60 people. He raided with that. It was crazy.
That's sick. That's awesome. That's really cool seeing, again, it's that one of those things where you never know. You got to be live. You got to be a part of the game in order to to have this thing be a part of that thing. That's awesome that occurred. Okay, God, have you lost your virginity? All right, let's.
No, I'm a turbo virgin.
There it is. There it is.
No, I'm kidding. I've lost my virginity.
Oh, all right. Hey, I'm taking you as you are. All right, I'm not here to assume anything.
Fair enough.
Wipe while standing or sitting down?
It's like a squat. You gotta like kind of get up, but you don't stand. You don't like sandwich
Like
it.
a
You kind of
hunch.
you kind of hunch over and you squat. Like it's not like you don't commit to either or. It's just kind of you get up a little bit. Like you raise yourself off the rim. Or what is it? Is it called the seat?
The soil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do your business and you done with it.
Okay. Okay. What is your worst habit, and what is keeping you from dropping it? That's a good question.
I still bite my nails, and that's a really bad habit that I have.
Ooh, yeah. Took me a
Gotta get
while.
rid of that. I don't know why I keep doing it. I'm just an idiot.
I got you. Okay, I'm starting to reread some. Is UPS the fastest ground shipping ever? What the hell is
Yeah.
this?
It's also the wait. Is there more to that, or
Will you? Yeah, there are multiple questions like this. Will you ask him? Is UPS the fastest ground shipping ever? Bullgrave's the oldest frog. What is this about? Why is there so much UPS? Is there beef with FedEx and UPS that I'm not aware of?
no? Can I just link you a video for reference?
I mean, I don't know if I'll watch it live, but can you give me a too long didn't read version?
It's not that long. It's like a 13-second video.
Okay, cool. Yeah, link it. I'll watch it. There's no music or anything like that?
No, it's just no. You're good.
All right, say less. All right, link it in chat, and I'll hit you up.
I don't know if I'll be able to find it.
Okay, fair enough.
I won't
Can
give you
you tell
context.
me what it's about? So it's a meme, right?
Yeah, it's a stupid TikTok where this guy just goes up to it. This guy just goes up to a UPS thing. It says fastest ground shipping, and he goes, "Oh, dude, what if it said the fastest way to get a boner?" And it's just dumb. Like that's just it. That's the joke. It's not even funny. It's just that's it.
Yeah.
He just says, "That's it." I feel so cringe explaining that joke. Oh my god.
Fastest way to get a boner. Oh, I think I see it. Let me click on it. Fuck. Where did it go?
Right here it says UPS, our
Shit.
fastest ground shipping ever. You know, what if it said our fastest and hardest boner, quickest speed for getting a boner?
He's so smooth with his words. He goes as fast as boner. You know, I think that's actually fucking hilarious. That's beautifully done. That's perfect. Let me read a couple more here. Okay. I see this is where I know how to be professional with that one. That is not a question I'll read you. That one's brutal.
Sure.
Okay, this is very open-ended. What do you owe yourself?
Working out. I need to do that for myself really bad.
Okay.
I've been stopping myself for a long time. I haven't really been taking care of my body as much as I should have been in the last year, but I've been so busy and consumed. But that's also an excuse. I just haven't. That's all it is.
Yeah. Nice. Can you tell Retrora to lift his cam up a bit? What does that mean? Is that a thing? What in the world is going on above you? What is this god that you're worshiping above you? What is
You have
going
it
on?
in your chat.
I mean, I see it. Yeah, why? I love white art. Don't get me wrong, but a banner to his name, dude. That's dank. That's dank right there.
Yeah, it's conveniently out of sight for those who are new to the channel. And they're like, it's nothing. It's a little thing he's got up there, but it's a little hidden gem for the boys. That's all it is.
Have you invested in Chainlink? Buy the dips, boys. You can.
Yes. Hey.
You have?
Yeah, I have. Yes, I have. Are you invested in Chainlink?
I'm not touching that shit. I'm not in for the roller coaster ride, dude. It is crazy. I got old man mutual funds, man. Gorilla or bear? Gorilla got a fat ass. Don't forget to include that. Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I already know my answers to this question. Who would win in a fight, a gorilla or a bear?
What kind of species for each? Are we talking
Silverback gorilla versus a grizzly bear? They're full maxed out stats on each side. Cage match, fighting each other in a ring.
might have to go with the bear on this one. Just
Okay,
like,
a man of culture, a man that I respect. I agree.
like
The bear would
that's
win.
yeah, that's a savage. Like gorilla does have a lot more. Like I would definitely say the gorilla can move, but like once the bear's got you, that's just done. Like, but gorillas are fucking strong. Like that, it's not an easy debate. That's not. That's tough. That's a tough one. By a smidge, I would give it to the bear. I also have a
Mhm.
bias. I love bears, man. This fucking
Absolutely.
spirit animal. What's the most trivial thing about you? What's the most trivial thing about which you have a strong opinion on?
I don't really think pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Is that
That's a
a
hot take.
trivial?
That's a hot take. Yeah.
What is your opinion on that?
So you're not willing to talk about the one thing, but you're willing to talk about. Nah, I'm joking. The pineapple pizza, I don't care, man. I mean, I'll eat it. Like I actually kind of like the sweet salty. That's what I think about it. It has both, so it's balanced. It's not like if you have only a pineapple pizza, then you're kind of a freak. That's too much.
Yeah. You can't just like put pineapple with cheese and that's
Yeah,
it.
nah,
That's gross.
that's disgusting. But I'll take the ham. Like the ham's nice, and you got a little bit
Oh
of.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I fuck with
A
it.
little bit of ham. I can take that.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me read you. I'll read you 3 more. All right.
Okay. I'm down.
What does it say here? Oh my gosh, they have come up with so many more, and I'm trying to sift them out. Favorite Kanye project?
Kids See Ghosts. That's a very. I already know they were asking that just to like get that out.
Hmm.
Kids See Ghosts. Have you heard that album?
Yeah, of course. That's actually
Great.
more of the recent ones. I was going way back when. I thought you were gonna go with Hit Me with the College Dropout or all this shit.
No,
But
no. That's
yeah.
his best. I would say his best work is on that album with Kid Cudi.
Okay. It definitely tells you of his headspace at that time. Like it's
Yeah.
very there's a lot of stuff that's telling there. Let's see here. Will you pursue IRL streaming in the summer? From Paul Graves.
Yes. That's been what I wanted to do since the beginning. So if I'm able to, I mean, I have the funds to do that, but that's also why I'm doing the subathon right now is to raise funds for that. Because I want to get an IRL backpack and IRL equipment so I can go around and do IRL streams. But that'll be that's what I'm hoping to do. Hopefully everything's cleared up by that time, but it's hard to tell.
Mhm. Okay, that's fair. What kind of IRL streams are we talking? What are you thinking about doing?
Just probably just like walking around, talking to different people, getting to know people, and not like it won't be like degeneracy, but it'll be like going around and showing chat places and stuff like that. It'd be pretty fun.
Okay, nice. I like that. Yeah, I do think like I just wish, and I'm hoping for this. And I mean, it's inevitable. The technology and the equipment for IRL streaming will get better. It's just so like whenever I saw like Ice do it or anyone, it's so clunky. There's so many like even like Andy when he's doing it, like you got the stick, you got a bunch of battery packs, you got all this stuff that you're hooking up. It's just there's so many variables when it comes to IRL streaming, but it is so sick. It's incredible. And it's incredible YouTube content too. So it goes both
for sure.
kind of ways. Yeah. You don't want to answer this one. I'll figure out the next cringe one. But he says, do you have any experience with psychedelics?
No.
Okay, that's that. He's clean. What? Ask Red about the $19 Fortnite card.
Do you know about that meme?
No, not at all.
All right, I'm not explaining that one
Okay,
too.
gotta explain that one.
I can't after that last one. Like I I explained one cringe meme to you. I can't explain
Yeah,
two more.
fair play. The first meme I actually liked. That one I actually would fuck with. I'll probably find it again. What advice do you wish you'd receive earlier? That's the last one we'll end on.
To trust that the road that you have set before you is not always the best option for you.
Why'd you choose that?
I was very confused coming out of the acting field, and I was very like distraught thinking about where my life was going to go after I got done acting. and I was like, I don't know, if this is gonna work, if what I'm doing is right, if what it was very 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 confusing, and I thought like my life was set on this one track, and if that one track didn't work, then everything was like had gone to shit. And I realized now that's not how life works, So that's a very big lesson I wish I would have learned earlier on. But at the same time, I don't regret that I had to learn it the way that I did.
I like that. I like that a ton. That being said, my man, you've done it. All right. That's everything. That's the whole shebang. You've gone through the gauntlet with me. You've gone through and shared enough about your life, talking about yourself. But here's the thing. Here's the deal, Rhett. All right. Much like anything in life, nothing is free. So there's two things that I'm gonna have to ask from you. All right. Let me make sure
Shit. Get that to pay to be on here. Fuck.
You got to pay to play, baby. That's the thing.
Okay.
No, I got you. I'm setting it up right now just to make sure. Do you have the stream open right now?
I do, yes.
So can you do me a favor? Can you pick a name that isn't myself, a mod, or a current VIP? Any name.
Oh God.
On the house.
FXL 6-1.
FXL 6-1. FXL 6-1. All right, FXL, yo, you've won VIP. All right, so here's the rules. I'm gonna spam it all. I only have 5. I need you to choose one name. Can you whisper it to me on in my DMs, and I'll change it for the next stream. But here are all of them. I'm gonna try my best to kind of beat the spam there. But DM it to me. DM me who you're taking out, and it'll be ready for you by the next stream. All right, FXL 6I or 6-1?
It should be FXL. Yeah, FXL 6-1.
Oh, sick. Oh, that's a great name, dude. Thank you so much for choosing a shorter name. That is heaven there. But yeah, DM me your choice, all right, FXL, sure. And we'll do that. And the second thing I'll have to yes.
Wait, FXL sent it to you?
Yeah, no, yeah, FXL.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. FXL will say, yeah, I don't want to put that heat on you, Rhett. You don't got to do that. You've gone through enough. So make sure you send that to me, dude. Make sure you send it to me by, within tonight so I could change that. The second thing, Rhett, I'm going to ask you, right? You've gone through the ringer with me, all right? We've done this for a little bit over 2.5 hours. On top of that, you've been live for 30 hours. I'm gonna ask you this, all right? I'm always looking for new streamers.
Of course.
So who is someone you would like to see on the show? There's no guarantees. I'm always just looking, and I'm lurking. So I'm always looking to find who would you want to watch. If this person was on, you'd be like, yo, I'm gonna fucking watch this person. I'm gonna watch him on your stream.
He's in your chat right now. Ngaku TTV.
Ngaku TTV. Perfect. Awesome. There you go. You made it easy, right? You already had your fucking mind made up. You didn't know. Ngaku, I got you on the sticky note, man. What up? There you go. Yeah, no, perfect. I'll send you a DM. I'll check out your shit. But thank you so much, Mr. Rhett. Here's the thing. All right, we've gone through this time together. There is one last bit that I left as a surprise to you. I don't have it on the script. It is on the script, but it's left as a little bit of a cliffhanger, if you may.
Okay.
This show is inspired by a show that I used to watch as a kid. It's called Inside the Actors Studio. I'd be surprised that you didn't know this one. Do you know that show?
I think I've heard of it.
So it is fairly old. There's this guy named James Lipton, and for 22, 23 years, he hosted this show where he'd bring on actors, actresses, and entertainers of the sort into his university, and he literally filmed this whole thing. Oh, by the way, DM it to me on Twitter in the whispers. You got it, FX. But he did this whole show for 23 years, and in front of theater students, he would interview famous actors, actresses, and entertainers, and he'd get into their life story, and then their discography, and then he always ended the show the same way. And so, as an homage to the man, he sadly passed away in 2019. I pay tribute by ending all my shows the exact same way. So it's for 60 shows I've done this. I've asked these same 10 questions. And so I'll do that for you tonight. There's only 2 rules, all right, Rhett? The first one is I will not make a sound. The floor is yours. I'm going to wait for a moment of silence, and then we'll move on to the next question.
Sure.
The second part, other than the fact that you do have to answer every question,
Okay.
try to keep it within one thought. So not one word, not one paragraph. Just keep it within one idea, all right? Very simple. Perfect. Are you ready, Rhett?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And after that, we'll say our goodbyes and we'll go our separate ways from there. But let's start here. Question 1. What is your favorite word?
Coffee.
What is your least favorite word?
Abandon.
What turns you on?
Someone who plays Retrora.
What turns you off?
Dishonesty.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sound of waves at a beach.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Silence.
What is your favorite curse word?
Bastard.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Being a park ranger at a national reservation, or I forgot what they're called. At a national park. Sorry, national park.
What profession would you not like to do?
Working fast food.
And lastly, Rhett, if heaven exists, what would you like to say to God? What would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You did well.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Retrora, dude, you did it. What a journey. Holy cow, my man. I appreciate that. I appreciate your time. Here's the thing. I like to take these last moments of the show to kind of absorb what we did this evening. Take a moment and talk about what happened. And after that, I always give the guests the final word, and we'll go our separate ways. By the way, Tanner, don't think I did not see that. Thank you so much for the freaking crazy raid. I'm so sorry, Tanner. This is a rough time, all right? We're literally wrapping things up here. But, Rhett, here's the thing, all right?
Yo.
I respect your mentality in how you approach streaming in terms of really giving it the go, really pursuing your passion and your dream, and hearing a bit of your story, your background, especially your connection with theater, and seeing I mean, inequality would be a understatement of what that industry does to
Oh yeah.
to minorities. But taking that shitty situation and that bias and turning it into a positive and pursuing something like streaming is very bold. It's very brave and courageous. And to see the fact that today you stream for 30 hours, you hit the numbers for partnership. Whether or not you get it is not the point, Rhett. And I hope you're aware of that.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
for sure.
the value of not just your content, but you as a human needs to go beyond the approval of the system here.
Mhm.
When I see you, Rhett, I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. Uh, I understand that feeling of like, or I empathize. I'm sorry, would be a better way of that feeling of like people are calling me this, people are calling me that, whether it be a leech or an ego Andy. You can't, it's one or the other.
Mhm.
But your ability to stay true to your craft, your ability to put your head down, take the blows as they come, and continue to produce content, to continue to stick around on this platform and be there for these people that clearly love you is a testament not only to your ability to shape and form a really safe and welcoming place, but also your love for what you do. And that's the thing. Bullshitters on this platform are very evident. You could see it a mile away. So seeing that how much you've worked on this, how half the job is showing up, and for you to be as consistent as you are and come out, even though you may not have content, fuck it. Let's send caution to the wind and let's see what happens. Is really awesome, dude. I'm really proud of you for today's accomplishment, and I'm glad that I had this moment with you, man. I appreciate you.
For sure. I really do appreciate you having me on. Like I shot that DM, I didn't think you'd actually fucking respond. I was like, all right, cool.
You happen to catch me right when I was slipping into bed too. I was like, oh, perfect, fuck, because I don't check my thing. But Rhett, here's the thing. Let me give you the final word. What would you like to say to everyone that's here watching today, everyone that's stuck around this whole show? What would you like to say to your crowd? You get the final word here.
I'll see you boys at the top, because that's where we're going.
That's where we're going. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Retrora. Retrora, I appreciate your time. I'll talk to you again soon. Get some fucking rest, dude. Pass out.
Of course. Yeah,
do what
man.
you got to do. But I'll talk to you later, my man. All right? You take care.
Yeah, again, thank you for having me on. I really, really do appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure, and I hope we get to talk again sometime soon.
Of course. Yeah, no, definitely. I in my mind, I would love to get you and Senny around, This would be nice to get you on a network. But we'll figure the logistics of that later, man. You take care, get some rest, get some food, do what you got to do, man. I'll talk to you later, man.
I'll talk to you later, man.
Take
I
care.
appreciate it. You too.
Thank you.